Okay, we're live, and okay, you guys say something. I want to see if it comes through. Well, wait, no, I probably don't have you pumped through properly. Say something. Okay, there you go. Check. Vlad, how you doing? Say something, buddy.
Hola.
Hola. Okay. As you guys can see, you've been chatting with Vlad in the side chat, and you found out he's finding out that certain comments are not appropriate. So thank you. Keep doing a good job. Listen, I've already told Vlad here verbally that certain comments, depending on the words that are used, might get removed, and that's entirely okay. So, Vlad, we just got to be careful because it's not our platform. YouTube sets the rules. I'm a monetized channel. I have to play by YouTube's rules, and so certain things are inappropriate. I mean, including the way we talk to each other, like in the sense of we're allowed to have heated debate. We can talk, but if we start, if people start calling each other certain derogatory terms and stuff like that, then that's going to be inappropriate, and so people will end up just having to be removed from the conversation. So that's all. Sorry, say that again.
That's amazing.
Anyways, I'm just setting some ground rules so everybody knows the way it is. Now, Vlad is coming to us not from a microphone, well, not from like a headset or a computer. He's coming to us from his... Go ahead, Vlad.
I need to list the derogatory words that are okay, the ones that are not okay.
That was a little bit... try to talk a little bit more concisely into the mic there, bud, because we were getting better from you before out of this.
I need a list of words are okay. Okay, because I think a lot of derogatory stuff.
You have to think. You have to think. Okay, so think of it like this: would you say it to your grandmother or somebody else's grandmother? Would you walk up?
I wouldn't say none of this stuff I'm saying to my grandma or to my kid.
Well, the flat Earth thing is a different thing. I'm just talking about like social appropriateness. Would you walk up to somebody on the street and just say that to them?
I see a lot of stuff that you can slap, but you get a case for a little thing. It's not a big deal. I mean, you can put us in
That's not coming through terribly great. I wonder if he can join a meets. We've tried multiple ways.
That might be a way better option.
Well, the thing is, I couldn't. Okay, hold on. But if he, so this is all the troubles that I've been having to try to connect with Vlad here. Vlad doesn't. No offense to Vlad, Vlad is self-declared, doesn't really know much about phones, and he wasn't able to get into a voice channel because his wife helped get him in there before, so he couldn't figure out how to get into a voice channel. So I'm not going to beat him up too much, I guess, right now. But that's been kind of part of the problem. So if I paste him a link here, though, it should, if he's on an Android, it should just open into the Meets call, right?
It's installed.
he needs to have meats installed. Well, that is not going to be something that's happening. This is the thing. This is the kind of the issue. So we're gonna have to try to bear with it here and get the best we can out of Vlad and see if we can get a little bit of like. So Vlad, just like I said, try to make sure we're talking slowly into the microphone, because I think part of the reason you're having a bit of an issue is you're also on a mobile connection, not like a Wi-Fi connection. Sorry, go ahead.
Now.
Well, we'll just have to get going and see how it goes, right? Because it'll probably come and go a little bit. I'm gonna move that chat window.
Let's see. I got my phone on the glass table. I'll put something under it.
Yeah, see, that was all robot to me.
How's that?
I don't really know where to go from here because it's really hard to talk to him. I see it's backwards on Meets. So he has to have the app Meets installed on his phone? You still there, Dick? Did I lose you?
I thought that was the case, but I guess I could be wrong.
I don't know. We could.
As extra security and stuff, I thought for sure it would want the app on the phones.
We could try to keep. Yeah, it's near impossible to understand him. This is the problem. So here, I'm gonna send. Okay, if you look, Vlad, on here, there's a link right there. Click that link and see what happens here. See if we can get you on a meet.
Okay, I'm looking.
See, it was just I'm looking. That's all I got out of you, Vlad.
Okay, saying there's a link.
Vlad, do you have internet at your house, or is it only mobile on your phone? Like, can your phone connect to your Wi-Fi? Because the problem is that phones, unless you have a good connection, a really fast connection, depending on the phone you have and stuff, mobile connections are kind of shit. And I think this is what we're running into. It's just not enough byte rate.
Look, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. But you know what I'm going to do? Here, let me drop away the screen share, because maybe this is, you know what I'm realizing? Maybe this is really fucking with his... maybe that's fucking with his
limiting. Then,
yeah,
right?
This is what I'm thinking. Okay, let's try this again here. Keep going. Try Vad. Say something.
All right. You hear me?
Okay, that's a little better. We might not be able to share screens, Vlad. See, the other problem Vlad had, everybody, is that I wanted to originally to kind of cut out the complication of having to share a screen with his phone, because I thought that might be difficult anyways. I'd asked if maybe Vlad could start up his computer and run it from there. Now, Vlad, if you said your sound isn't working. If you want, while we're chit-chatting here, you could fire up your computer, go to my stream, and who cares? I guess if the sound isn't working, we'll pump the audio into here. You're gonna have a little bit of a delay we can work through, but at least that'll allow you to see what we're talking about, see the stream, and communicate with us. Because right now, you say something again, Vlad, because that came through pretty smooth the last time there. Say something.
Nice and smooth.
Yeah, yeah, I heard nice and smooth.
That's fine.
Yeah, so you know what? Maybe I think that we were just pumping way too much to you there by putting the image to you through your phone.
Yeah, I don't need the image.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's gonna be easier to.
I got a computer screen that I'm looking at, and I'm just talking with my phone.
Awesome, love it, love it. Let's do this.
I don't need to see the screen in my phone.
Yeah, I love it. I'm gonna shut down the Meets window even. I don't even have to have that window open now. One more window down. Holy moly, crappy-loli. We got 73 people watching right now, I think. Concurrent viewers, yeah, right now. Pretty impressive. So let me just make sure these are set where they need to be. I'm gonna put that there. Okay. Dick, we didn't really get a lot of chance to talk about this. The general idea I was gonna have was that Vlad, I figured he could present first if he wanted to. He gave me some pictures and images to bring up and stuff like that, which obviously we'll bring up as we go through the debate. Right? But I told him we don't need to do 10 minutes or anything like that, but he can basically just, if you wanted to throw down some point form things, just to kind of do like a quick little intro, introduce himself, and let everybody know who he is, and basically go through some just general points. that he thinks are proofs of flat Earth, and then I could kind of do the same with globe Earth, and we go from there. And then after we do a back and forth and we kind of work our way through some of those things, we would get to more of a freestyle conversation where maybe we could just talk about it a little bit, ask each other anything we wanted to ask, and then if there's any super chats to get to at that point, we get to reading the super chats. So everybody, if you want to get the super chats in, you get them in, and we can take a look at those towards the end. So yeah. So Dick here is just gonna, really, Dick might have a boring job depending on how civil we are, Vlad. If we have a good conversation, which, you know, I've had some pretty decent conversations with some pretty shitty people. I'm not putting you in that category necessarily. I'm just saying it's impressive. Sometimes you can get some people that you can have some really decent conversation regardless of the disagreement. So as long as that kind of happens, he'd probably have a boring job, just sit here and not do much. If we end up veering off track too much or getting into, you know, just kind of endless loops of back and forth over the same subject, sometimes he might come in and just grab us and just say, hey, listen, we've been going over this for a long time. I don't think we're going anywhere. Let's just try to get back over here. Maybe, you know, why don't we talk about this? And so he might just kind of steer us a little bit, right? So it's sometimes good to have.
All right.
Okay. So if you wanted to, like I said, try to talk, don't try to talk too fast. You don't want to outrun your mic or anything. But just if you wanted to start, if you wanted to present and say who you are. Obviously, I think I didn't introduce anybody here at all. My guest is Vlad. I don't really know much about him other than flat earther, and fairly adamant about certain things. And he's got his views, and we're going to talk about some of them. Everybody knows Dick Dawson, which I don't have an image up on the screen. I'm a terrible host. But Mr. Dick has that sexy black hair image, and it's all swept to the side like he's all new age or something like that. How old are you, Dick? And how old is your character supposed to be? Because I think that he's living vicariously through that image there.
I would say the character's 42, and I am myself 50. So, you know, I'll take that on. I'll take that a little bit, but not too much. A lot of echo from Vlad and myself in my own signal.
I'm realizing that that's kind of going to be a problem with the way that I'm pumping that audio. I actually realized it as you were saying that, because I'm having to pull the audio out. Oh, you know what? I can fix that, though. Yes, I can fix that.
Help me with following Vlad better, right?
Yeah. God damn. This is the problem with using Discord. I mean, honestly, this is why we don't use Discord for this, because the problem I'm having is I need everybody to be able to hear you guys. But
there's a setup I use that avoids it. I'll show you for next time.
Well, maybe you could show me for this time, because this is going to be awfully annoying for you two, isn't it?
If you take the audio out from Discord and put it over VB cable A into a hardware strip on voice meter, then you can route it so it doesn't come to us. It only goes to OBS.
Well, A is my headset is the thing. So the A and B are A1. Oh, I could put it to A3.
Do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
A3. No, I don't mean there, Beaver. I don't mean hardware outs. I mean the virtual cable virtual interface that runs in the background. You could bring it up as like hardware input too.
I don't know how to fucking do that.
Look in voice meter, hardware input 2, and see if you have something that says VB audio.
Well, I have hardware input 3 that I'm not using, and that would be A3.
Okay, so use that one then. Yeah.
Okay, so click there, and then set this up as cable output. That's going to be
a VB audio cable.
Well, that's VB audio virtual cable, but that's what my main cable output is for system audio. So it's just be another system audio, basically. Cable output VB audio virtual and MME.
Yeah, I would use the W. You can, but
I don't know if that
driver less latency.
I don't even know. KVB, cable output VB, audio virtual. Okay, so then I need to pump your, this is all bullshit. I'm sorry about all this, people. Normally I just send people a link, they would install the app, I'd tell them an install, and we would just be off to the races like nothing even happened. But it was like dealing, no offense Vlad, but it was like dealing with a monkey. Like it's
here, wait a minute.
Oh,
look, where do we come in audio wise on your strip?
Well, you're under my voice meter VAIO. You're under my check.
What actual what strip? Like, are we under the...
Hold on. Just hold on. Show you my fucking screen here. Right here.
Say sometimes because I'm still hearing my own echo.
Yeah, I get it. It's fucking annoying as shit, I bet. In fact, here, I can kill you to everybody else. Testing, John Rapp. Okay, well, I'm going to read that one right now because I've seen it. $5, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me? No shit, it'll just be an hour of this. Good Lord. There it is, $5. Okay, so do you see it? Hey. Yeah, you guys are in on check right here.
What B?
I don't have a fucking clue. I mean, one of them. I mean, I was just told to turn them both on. Well, it's only going to make a loop if it makes a loop. I haven't programmed a loop in. The loop matters right here. What's happening is the problem is when I turn on any one of these, it doesn't matter because either one of them is identical. So it's going to send to you. You're going to hear either one.
They shouldn't be identical.
Okay, but then tell me how to fix it.
Your audio input.
One second. Properties. Aux output. Voice. Well, how do you figure? Only send you to.
No, hold on. Aux is B2 and B1 is OBS. Right? There is B1, voice meter aux is B2. That's how those work.
Well, but there's cable output VB audio and there's aux output VB audio. So the aux output is B, and VB and the regular output is B1?
Oh, yeah, B1 is the regular and B2 is the aux. So
where in the world would it tell you that?
Well, I don't know, but unclick from B.
Is that true? Can you hear yourself? Echo. Say test. You got to do it to yourself. But can you hear an echo? Oh my God, the things that we have learned about our bananas today. Men, boys, ladies even, tell us about your bananas in the live stream. Tell us all the juicy details. But remember we talked to Vlad about bad words, so keep it G-rated. But tell us all about the intricacies and difficulties that you've all had with your bananas. Anyways, I'm gonna turn off this so we can. Okay, now I'm gonna stop sharing the screen though, so you guys can. It's the word is homosexual. I think, but let's just not use that word. Yeah, but if you're using that, but if you're calling somebody a homosexual, it's still derogatory. So it would get deleted. Well, okay. So here's the question. Okay, so Vlad, a question I have for you is: if you're calling somebody that, then are you not implying that it's a negative thing? Well, why would you be? So it is if you use it as an insult. So, I mean, come on, Vlad, use cyclical reasoning here. You're allowed. Listen, you can insult somebody if you want to call them a big ninny poo, but we're on YouTube, so if you actually read the terms of service, we're not. We're not. I was making jokes with my audience. Calm down. So, anyways, okay. So I can see where this is gonna go really quick. So anyways, okay. So now, hey, listen, we can hear each other. You guys don't have an echo. I think we're good to go. See, there we go. Something's wrong. Well, they're not hearing you properly either then.
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay, so what do we got to do in OBS then? Okay, desktop audio. Advanced audio properties. Oh, no, that's not the one. Properties. Voice meter. Okay, so set it to voice meter audio. Da, da, da. Come on, people. We'll have you sound in 10 seconds here. Headphones, speakers, voice meter, line, voice. Just top one? It's default. Input? Okay, but there's voice meter input. There's line, voice mod virtual audio device. Voice meter.
audio meter in OBS, you should see it jumping, right?
Yeah. There it is. Okay, check. Here, you guys say something. Check.
Yeah,
Check
all
me.
good.
Just keep talking first. Go la for a second. I'm gonna set your audio. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, this is a whole new world of audio setup. You and I are gonna have to set up a little date and talk about it. Okay, 91 people that have seen nothing but us doing audio stuff. So okay, so Mr. Vlad, do you want to introduce yourself to the audience? Talk about how maybe just real quick how you got into flat Earth, and then maybe start getting into what you want to talk about.
So, I thought flat Earth was stupid, just like all you guys. When I first heard about it, they used to send the. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yep, I can hear you pretty good.
Like I quit watching regular TV because I thought YouTube had better programs and more interesting stuff from real people. And I like watching shows on YouTube, and I always liked unusual topics. Stuff about UFOs, aliens, Bigfoot, things of that nature. And then YouTube kind of knows this kind of stuff you're interested in, so they would send me flat Earth videos too. I wouldn't even look at them. Man, it's so stupid. I don't even look at this, until one day I saw Eric Dubé's video got shot over to my page. It said 200 proofs Earth is not a spinning ball. And I said to myself, man, that's a pretty confident title for this video. Look at that one. So that was the first one I looked at. And like right away, it had me hooked. Like he talked about water being flat and about horizon always coming to meet you at eye level. And a lot of, and then see further than we should be able to on a globe. And all those things, just stuff that I never really thought about. I did kind of think about it, but you figure, well, the Earth is so big, you're not going to see a curve. A sphere is an extreme object, that a lot of curve there. No matter, even if it's big, you don't have to go very far for that curve to begin to drop, have an extreme drop, So that got me hooked, and then I started watching a lot of flat Earth videos, and then after that Eric Dubé video, I was like 98% sure that that's true. The Earth is flat, and then I just saw some more stuff too, added more proofs, and now I'm like 99.9%, and not necessarily that it's flat the way you see the flat Earth model. There's some things I see wrong with it, in my opinion. But I don't believe in the globe that we see, because we see an image that's not like just a simple photograph, like a snapshot. It always looks same. We don't see that. We see a manufactured image. So why don't we see a globe, which is strange to me? We should have just clear video and photographs of Earth from space, and not just of Earth from far away in space, so you just see that globe that you see in your mind, but zoomed into where we could see ourselves being hurled around the rotation. What, but nothing like that exists. You just see it like a manufactured reality. It's fake.
Oops, sorry.
And then so then another one that got me really convinced was Mr. Thrive and Survive. He had a nice submarine video, because I know planes should end up in space, but you guys will come and say, well, it's because of gravity that it just keeps looping around the Earth, kind of orbit. So a plane like orbits the Earth. It does 25,000 mile loops, even though the pilot's got it flying straight. So how would a pilot go straight? If you wanted to avoid the curve of the Earth, how would he go straight? But the nice thing about so that's a question I'd like to know the answer to. But so you guys knock that proof out. Well, you just say gravity. But the nice thing about the submarine is we take away the gravity, and the way those things work with the buoyancy set at neutral, so no matter where it is in the ocean, the submarine, whether it's 10 feet below or 100 feet below, the buoyancy neutral doesn't change. And then when you hit go and the engines start up, you got the rudder straight 90-degree angle, a real 90-degree angle, not 90 degrees relative to the center of Earth, but there is such a thing as a straight line, and it will go in a straight line, but on a globe it would keep surfacing, because submarines can follow battleships for hundreds of miles, only 10 feet beneath the surface of the water, looking at it through the periscope. So if the water was curved, it would keep resurfacing, having to emerge again. So that's one pretty solid proof, I feel. There's a bunch of them, so that's a little introduction how I got into it, and then I think it's fascinating that if that's true, if that's really true, that we don't live on the globe that they show us, but the realm that we exist in is something different, completely different. That blows my mind. And people, most of my friends and family, they can't stand me, so I don't talk to them much about it. My wife doesn't want to hear this shit. My dad will just get mad and leave the room. My mom talks a little, but she doesn't want to talk about it much. It's a lonely life when you're a flat earther, man. But a couple of my friends did actually switch. A few people that listened, and then they researched on their own, and they are flat earthers now. I mean, there's a handful of them that I know that friends of mine who weren't flat earthers, and now they are because of talking to me, and then they researched on their own. So that blows my mind. I mean, if that's really true, it changes everything about the world we live in. Not just the nature of the world we live in, its physical properties, but it eliminates the illusion of that there's different governments and countries. It's like it exposes the one world system, because every nation has a space program. Even Mexico have a space program. They're thinking of setting up a taco stand that will orbit Earth. So,
Hey, that's funny. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, thanks, everyone. So, and then it changes. It's a real. It blows my mind, man. And then when you add to that, okay, the Earth is not the globe floating in space. Then what happens to space? And then I start thinking about that, oh shit, space is not what we're told either. And then when you start considering that, I'm saying, wait, okay, same with the photos. They're like paintings. They're generated images. And I sent you some pictures from Hubble telescope, supposedly took. They've had the same old photos supposed photos for the past 20 years. I bought that book like 20 years ago, photos of space from the Hubble telescope. Where's the new stuff, man? They've got those colorful cloud-looking things floating in space. It really looks beautiful. I'd like to have a poster on my wall, but none of that stuff's real. And then it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy, the movie, the backgrounds. It's just fake, man. It's not real. And so that blows my mind. So we're not in space, but we're under a firmament, most likely, as the ancient scriptures tell us that the stars, sun, and moon somehow move above the earth, and they're close and small. There's not this vast distance within a realm of space between different stars. A book called Voyage to the Moon, I think. I can't remember the name of it. But if you look at that book, it's laid out just like the first Apollo moon mission, even where they took off from in Florida, where they landed, the number of the crew, the way the rocket looked, the way it landed in the sea and got picked up by the military. Like, there's a whole list of things. They just copied that book and sold the story as though it's real, So then the moon landing's fake. America, you can't, the way it presents itself to us, not just America, the whole world isn't it's not what it's presenting itself to be. So you can scratch your head and wonder why. Then you go into a whole other realm of possibilities, and I don't want to go into that place because that things can get, this is hard enough to deal with what we're dealing with right now, just the shape of the earth, But to me, it changes everything, It makes God more real too, because the Big Bang universe and evolution in the billions of years and billions of light years distances, all the time and the space and the distances, you can have creation without having God in the equation, So this ideology, scientism, creates many atheists. I mean, most people don't go to church and believe in God because of that. I think that has been more damaging to as far as separating men and women from God than any other ideology ever. Darwin theory of evolution, heliocentric model of Copernicus, and then Big Bang theory and all those things those are deceptions, and we're starting to see that when they first present those things to people, to the masses from above, from the controllers, presenting those things. Nobody really had any comeback because they present themselves as superior intellect and scientists. You can't question their knowledge and authority, so you just kind of buck down and accept. Well, these guys have the machines and they have the brains, and their machines tell them how far everything is and how big everything is, and they're really, really smart. They got the math equations and figured it all out, so they must be right. But we're starting to see, no, those guys are wrong. Not wrong, they're lying and making things up and changing the numbers all the time. We're starting to see that. Regular people are starting to see that, because we can make our own measurements and see that the numbers they're giving us don't add up, So I mean, there's just the pictures I sent you. I mean, I'll go through it quick because I've been yapping a lot. The eclipse, the shadow of the moon on Earth is only 70 miles wide. Now, guys, give me a lecture about umbra and penumbra, but I did my own experiment and demonstrate what the shadow should look like, and it's not that little dot we saw on the map that represented the real eclipse that was 70 miles wide. And there's actual weather balloon footage of the actual eclipse, and you see a sharp, dark shadow indicating a small, closer object, not a faded shadow with a vague penumbra and umbra. No, that you could see the umbra and penumbra close to one another within the 70-mile radius or circumference. I mean, so those the eclipse throws it off. The moon There's the Red Bull. I did a video about the Red Bull high jump. You see an eye level horizon on the Earth. Am I yapping too much? Is my time is up, or is that a fairy?
Can't keep. That's the super chat. Don't worry about it, buddy. Keep going for now. We'll let you go for. We'll let you wanted to tidy up yourself up anyway, so I'll let you close your statement out here.
All right, I'll go. I'm almost done. I know. All right. I'm glad you're making money though, man. So the red, the Red Bull thing. There's some more.
Oh, I can try to make it so you guys don't get that audio, but it is a. Don't worry about it too much. I'll try to see if I can turn that down.
Yeah, man. Okay, when the dude takes off from the little pod, I forgot his name. The camera behind his shoulder is not the GoPro that creates everything like a bubble world that makes everything look concave or convex. It's a regular camera behind his shoulder. You see where the horizon is when he takes off, when he's on the ground, and then when the pod opens up again, 25 miles up, you see a view from that same camera. The horizon hasn't changed. It's at the same. It's between the same two gadgets. You can mark where it is on the ground and where it is when he's up 25 miles up. Horizon follow the pod all the way up. That's impossible if Earth is a sphere. That can only happen on a flat plane. Because on a sphere, we're all staying on the tippy top of the sphere, relative, to everyone else. But I'm right now on the tippy top of the sphere. If I'm on a sphere, if I go up, everything beneath me has no way. The ground itself has no way to catch up to my eye level, especially if I'm 25 miles up. The physical property of a sphere doesn't allow it to do that. As far as I know, I'm sure you'll counter that. I'd like to hear what you say. The other one, let me see. There's different images of Earth. I already covered that. Flat Earthers have a nice meme. It's got like 9 different images of the globe where all the continents are different sizes. Which one is it? Then there's also another one of the moon Mimas of Saturn. Moon Mimas looks just exactly like the Death Star.
Okay.
What's that?
We can. Well, here we can. I've got all those pictures, and you've sent me the numbers for those. So, why don't we start getting into those? So, but I'm gonna give my. I didn't. You had a lot of stuff prepared, sir. I'm very impressed with you. Hip Hop Hippie came to the table and just dropped the mic down and just was like, you know what? Bitch is flat. So you know what? I give you that. I think that a lot of people here are impressed because somebody brought their debating pants to the table. But anyways, we'll see if you got some information maybe to back that up, because there's a lot of information that obviously leads to whether or not some of these things are true or not, and so we can talk about them. So for me to get started, there's certain things like, you can say things like that moon looks like the Death Star, which would indicate that you're trying to basically indicate that this is a falsified image because, NASA they pull images from sci-fi and stuff like that, and they get muses from, TV and stuff to make these images for us and stuff. But the problem with that is that normal people with normal equipment can actually go after some of these images. So, I myself am sitting only maybe 10 feet from a telescope that I've witnessed Saturn and its moons myself with my own equipment and my own eyes. I've seen Mars, I've seen Jupiter, and I've looked at other objects as well. So there's that. There's also the issue of that from different.
Vlad, this is opening remarks. It's his turn now. You got to just sit back and listen for a minute.
You got like 10 minutes to talk, buddy. You got to listen for a minute now. It's your turn. And then we debate. Then we're going to talk about all this stuff, right? So you can try to rip my asshole open in a minute or two, bud.
I have 2 mouths and 1 ear, so forgive me.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So
no worries.
So the problem is that we have basically in different hemispheres we can see different stars. So if there was a flat plane and the entire section of the flat plane was dark at that time, or at least that entire portion, we should have cases where North Hemisphere and South Hemisphere, because they don't exist the same way on the flat Earth plane, would be able to see the same stars. We cannot view the same stars from the Northern Hemisphere because we don't face the same direction in space. So then there's that issue. The other question I have is why sunlight magically stops. There doesn't seem to be any scientific reason why the sunlight would just pick a point to stop. Not to mention, whenever you're dealing with an actual flat Earth map and you draw a termination line across it, there's a discrepancy in the distance you have between where the sunlight stops in one direction and where it stops in the other direction. So we're to believe that apparently sunlight can travel 5 times as far in one direction, but it all of a sudden has to slam the brakes on and go, whoa, flat Earth map says the light stops here. So there is that issue. There's the tops of mountains only being visible, never the bottom. There's no amount of, because I've got some of your images, I got a bit of an idea of some of the things you want to talk about. There's no amount of refraction that can bring back the bottom of any structure. And even when you're looking at distant objects that you think you're seeing, a lot of times you're actually seeing the tops of those objects that are being elongated by the stretching of the light that's already taken that light and pushed it farther than it really should have been able to be seen. We have satellites can be tracked and viewed with the right equipment. You can predict the rising of satellites. You can zoom in on them and you can actually follow them and take pictures of them. I know for a fact that I think Red's Rhetoric and that have actually taken images of the space station with I think it was the sun as the backdrop, or maybe it was the moon. Because probably the moon, you need special equipment to usually shoot the sun, so it was probably the moon as the backdrop, and they knew what time it should be occurring, and they were able to time it so that they were witnessing at the right time to see the traverse of the space station. They got a pretty decent shot of it. I think it was him and Astronomy Live, I want to say. The sun has a lampshade. I saw that comment. Satellite radio. There's an issue of satellite radio. Now, Vlad, I understand that you live in California, or at least I think you live in California. America is a very populated nation compared to a lot of countries. Some countries are denser populated than others. America is a very large nation, but it is also one of the most populated nations on Earth, with the population of, I think, in the 350 million range. You compare that to Canada, which is actually a larger geographical nation, and we have 36, 37, 38 million people spread out over a fairly large piece of land. So the problem is that I understand that it's easy for people that live in places that are very populated, and there's always a radio tower nearby, or you can always run to a house for help and stuff. But a lot of the places you can, in Canada, you can go to places where there's no wires. There's no roads that lead to these places. There's no way to get there other than a plane that lands on a shitty tarmac. And when I say tarmac, I mean a dirt strip, actually, because tarmac would be generous. And that's it. If the weather's bad, you're not leaving today if you're there working. So, I've been places where I've literally been there for 2 extra weeks because it was foggy. And I got... you go to your boss and you're like, so what am I getting paid to just sit there? Because the idea is that I'm supposed to be up there making money, and so they end up having to pay you a certain amount a day just to play tiddlywinks. And I think we go fished for 7 or 8 days because you're not getting home any other way. You just need to wait for a plane to land. If the world started to end while I was there, I'd be SOL. They'd just say, sorry, nobody's coming to get you. You live in the middle of nowhere now. So you better start to learn to hunt quail and bear, kind of thing. So it's easy for people to say that, because I've had this conversation with Frankie B. Flat before, commenting back and forth with him. It's easy for him to say, well, maybe they disguise it as around here, he said they disguise them as palm trees. Well, okay, but out there's nothing. So the thing is, you have this dish and you take it and you go, and you tilt it back and you point up and you get this little thing that has a little bar that goes like this, and you have to aim it and you have to look for the satellite signal. Literally, you have to try to aim it into the sky and find the satellite. You know it's about up here using a compass and X many degrees, and you actually have to find the satellite and get the signal from it in order to get television, internet, phone, you name it, because there's no wires. I can't pitch a wire for thousands of miles across a huge nation. So there's that, and then that covers TV, internet, and then the last thing is GPS. I mean, it's the same issue. You have the ability to use GPSs in places where you just can't, you just don't get signals. I mean, middle of the ocean, and yet you can pull this little device, a Garmin you buy from a store, and you could pull it out and, oh, look at that. Here's where I am. Well, I mean, that uses triangulation. Well, if you're in the middle of the ocean, unless there's radio signals, unless there's towers in the middle of the ocean, which they cannot travel that far, then where are you getting your triangulation from? This device is receiving signals from something. So either space exists, or I don't know what to tell you, because apparently I point my dish to Magic Land and it produces signal. So, I mean, that's the problem with that. And really, that's the last thing I have. But I drank a lot of coffee and I kind of need to pee. So I think we're going to have a quick intermission for 2 seconds while we literally, I literally go to the bathroom. So Vlad, if you need to do the same, and Dick, if you need to do the same, we are going to be back in about 12 minutes, everybody.
I'm going to go pee.
Okay, go do that, and we're going to be back, and then we're starting the second phase of this, which was, the first phase was audio problems. We're going to rename this stream afterwards. It's going to be audio, check, mic check, audio check. Vlad, are you there? Is going to be the name of the stream after this, okay? Because I think it's fitting.
Hey, cut me, man. Yeah. I need a break round one. That was a brutal round one, man.
I just need to piss. That's all it is. So just hang tight, Vlad. You can just put your phone on the table. We'll be right back. I'm just going to put it to the intro standby. In the future, I'll have better music or something to go along. Actually, you know what? Okay, everybody go do your thing. I'm going to entertain our guests. Here. No. So how's everybody doing out there? Do you want soothing music? We can get some Barry Manilow going on. You guys like Barry Manilow, right? I'm kidding. I can't play Barry Manilow anyways. He's copyright.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's talking right now?
It's Brainy Beaver. Just hold on. We're gonna go to music, guys. Just hold on for 1 second, guys.
I thought you went to pee.
Wow, that was an awfully terrible song I signed you all up for.
Hear that shit?
Oh. Hey, Vlad, buddy, you can't do that because I'm running the music right now. Otherwise, you're fucking with the stream. I had to mute you. I think the audience isn't hearing you now. They're hearing me. They're hearing my sexy, sultry voice. Okay, but Vlad, we gotta turn. It's like fucking dealing with a monkey. So, how's everybody doing out there? Oh shit, I haven't even transitioned. Transition. There we go. Hey, Vlad, buddy, are you there? Can you turn that off? Yeah, can you turn the music off? And we're basically never left, really. I mean, that's a thing. So come on, here we are. Everybody's back.
I thought you went to pee.
I did go to pee, but I don't take forever. I'm not 80 years old. It's not like I sit above the toilet and tinkle, 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 and like have to shake it. Come on, prostate, get out going. And I apologize to any young men out there watching that have that issue. I know it can be a varied age thing. Depends on health issues and stuff. So I'm not trying to hate. I'm wiping like saliva off my screen right now. Hold on, everybody. Okay, so this has been an awfully boring so far. 112 people. You guys are terrifying.
Let's kick this into second gear here and start some back and forth.
All right, yeah. So this is where Dick's gonna get to shine a little bit more, probably. So I predict everybody can hear everything. There we go.
Not to say that it has to be all strict and stuff, but I am going to run a timer in the background just to make sure we do at least strive for a good balance, right? You know, I'm not going to cut in with all that bullshit, but you know what I mean, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. It's 8:11. We've got the better part of 45 minutes to 2 hours. I'm okay with it going over 2 hours. I don't want it to. I mean, obviously, nobody wants to sign up for a 3-hour stream. This has been a test. This has been Beaver Debate Stream number 1. Like I said, it'll be called Testing. Vlad, can you hear me? That's going to be the name of it when we're done. And this is going to be a benchmark for obviously improving in the future, everybody. So, anyways, stepping into the next.
Hey, Dick, was the Armand coming in clear, or was it all staticky?
No, you've been great. What the problem was is we were feeding way too much data to your phone when we were trying to send it to your phone. That's all.
The music I played right now, was it coming in clean, or did it sound staticky?
Fairly statically, but
the last 2 seconds, yeah.
I cut it out just because it would have been a lot of mess for over the audio stream. So because it's pretty, so I cut the audio feed to that. I don't think they heard it.
Oh man.
He was listening to some hardcore rock and roll, everybody. It's okay. It wasn't because it was hateful music. I think it was beautiful. I don't know who it was, but you know. No, we can't play more. Yeah, don't play any because remember, I'm trying to keep this organized. Okay, so let's come on, bud. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so you got your points written down. So why don't you start stabbing at them? Why don't you talk a little bit more about, I got the pictures you want to display, 1, 2s, 3s, and 4s. So tell me what image you want to bring up, and let's talk about some images.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, okay.
This is where you can pay attention on the screen. We can bring them up on the computer, and you can follow along a little bit like that, and we can do it.
Okay. So go image. I'll say image. What's the right here? I'm trying to understand what I wrote to myself. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a good one. Let me see. Okay, yeah, go to image 16.
Okay, just give me a second here. Dum. Image number 16. Okay, so you'd sent me one, and then you sent me better one. Which one do you want? There's one with the rotating, the planet rotate thing, or the where you can see Chicago from Michigan.
I think better one probably.
Okay, so that would be. Wow, it transitions immediately when you actually overtake a. Interesting.
No, not
yeah,
that.
it jumps right in.
When you do it to an existing image, eh? That's crazy. So you actually have to turn the image off, and then otherwise you totally out yourself. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, so here we go. So yeah, if you pay attention, Vlad, there's a little bit of a delay. I can't remember if it's 10 seconds, 7 seconds, something like that.
Right.
But you'll see it come up on the screen, and you can just explain what this means to you and what your argument would be about this.
All right. Okay, I see it. You guys see that? That's the sun, like zooming through the galaxy, right? You see that? And the spring is like the Earth following.
Yeah.
Okay. So this was a video that Vsauce did, and this is one part of it. And what he says is, what you're looking at here is how much the sun moves in our lifetime, like within 100 years. Okay, you get it? So if the sun is that size, like that little pea size we're looking at right there, okay, if you go from there and backtrack to where the line starts, you see where it starts? Okay, that's how much it moves in 100 years. Okay, yet Okay, so we're told that the universe is expanding, and from the Big Bang, yet the constellations never move, and we know that. I know that the constellation Orion, which is what the Egyptian pyramids were based on, they're built according to the position of the stars that make up the constellation Orion. Okay, that was 5,000 years ago. So you would multiply the length of that line many times. That's only 100 years. I've noticed that much movement in 100 years. If I look up at the sky at stars I can see, if they move that much in 100 years, we'd have a totally different look up there now than we did 50 years ago or 100 years ago, not to 5,000 years ago. Nobody would even know that the pyramids were built according to the constellation Orion. The universe is expanding as we're told. But it actually proves that the stars are fixed in the firmament because they don't move.
But there is evidence that they move, and I believe that even Polaris, which everybody says is fixed, it draws a little circle in the sky, so it doesn't stay in one spot. And I know you mean move over time, so we can discuss that. You got to remember that the constellations you're looking at, you're not looking at they're stars that are close relative to us, so. You're looking out at things that are typically within our own galaxy, so they're moving with us at the same rate because we're traveling with them. It's hard to, like, that image you have there is fairly correct, except that's not accounting for even more movement. I mean, this is where flat earths would go. That's a bad word. We're not supposed to use that. Apparently, it's too close to the bad one. But okay, so like this is where they would get into saying that like there's X many directions of rotation, and that we've got like we're rotating and we're orbiting the sun at the same time as the sun is rotating around the galaxy. But I mean, yeah, it is. But the thing is, you got to remember the constellations that you're looking at, they're not distant galaxies. Distant galaxies, when you look at them, actually come up as their own thing. So, for instance, Vlad, if you, I'll switch it, just keep chatting for 1 second here. I'll bring another image up here because I do have some images prepared as well. Geist View has been kind enough to been sending me some pictures that have been absolutely phenomenal, and I've been saving a few of them. All files. I should be able to bring this up. So let's see here. I'm trying to see if I can figure out which one here is a galaxy image, because they don't they don't come up like that, so just bear with me here 1 second. Images, because normal JPEGs would actually come up as a like an image that you could look at, but these are not normal JPEGs. I think it's the later ones I looked at. Here we go. So if you look like transition, so you look at an image like this, and it'll show up on your screen there, Vlad, in a few seconds here. I'll small it up so we can kind of get it in the screen a little bit. You look at an image like this. Now, that image, just so you know, is actually not from NASA. It's not from JAXA or the Canadian Space Agency, which I guess would be just CSA, which I think that's also the CSA approved as like Canadian Safety Association as well. So I guess that gets confusing. But either way, it's CSA and whatever, the Mexican Space Agency, whoever. It's not from any of those space agencies. This is from Lord Geistview, if you will, and he takes these images in his backyard. And he has the technology to do it because you can buy it. You can go down.
Sounds like the Sith Lord.
Well, do you see the image we're talking about, though, here?
I see it. Okay,
so now I did not pull this off the internet. This was sent to me privately from the person who took the image. So and like, sorry.
What does that prove? What do you? Okay, I'm looking at it. It's a nice picture. What do you? What? Tell me about it.
I'm gonna rotate it to another one here. Is what I'm gonna do. Because he sent me other ones. And one of them shows more, it illustrates more. There we go. Here we go. Okay, so The image is gonna show up for you in a few seconds. So this image here that I'm talking about now, that you're gonna see in about like 10 seconds, you're gonna see that there are stars in this image, but there are also galaxies. Now the thing is that those stars are stars. Okay. Now most of those stars, because of how zoomed in he is, obviously, to get a galaxy, which is why you'll say, well, I can't see this when I look up there or I zoom in. Well, I agree, and neither can I. Now, the puny little telescope I have right over here can let me see very large, close galaxies, like Andromeda. I can kind of make out a bit, but I don't have a very big telescope. Now, this is a bigger telescope. Now, when I got mine like 20 years ago, they were rather expensive. Now, they're becoming quite cheap to have really amazing technology. And he has a laptop he sets up, and he has to tell it to like scan a certain part of the sky multiple times and overlap the image, and basically, which is the same as just leaving extra exposure like you would in a dark shot where your camera decides to like leave the aperture open a little longer and then close it. And that's why you can't shake the camera in dark shots, because you get a lot more blur, because it spends a lot more time with the aperture open absorbing some light, because just the way light works. So it makes these images like that. But when I say makes the images, it doesn't make the images. It just takes multiple shots and essentially takes the blurry ones and just discards them. And then by overlapping them, you get an exposure, like a long-term exposure, and you get to see these things that are harder to see with the naked eye, because our eyes are limited. So the reason I'm showing you this, though, because you did ask that question, that's legitimate, is that you, sir, are one tiny little speck on a speck of a speck of a speck inside one of those objects like that, one of those spinning discs. Now, I get that that's what you're fighting against, so just hear me out. But the thing is, when you're the stars that, like, all those stars you see around the spinning orb, or the spinning spiral, disc there, all the stars you see around it are, but hold on, let me finish my point. All the stars you see around it are local. Those are going to be local stars that are actually in our galaxy with us. Remember, to see the distant object, you have to look past the closer objects, because they're there and they're everywhere around us. So you have to look past them. And so what you're doing is you're seeing the galaxy really far away and the stars around it. And you can see there's another galaxy on the left-hand side that's at a different angle and floating, doing its own thing, being a galaxy even farther away. So I'm just trying to say that when you say that the constellations don't change, they don't change because they go with you. And so it's hard to, I don't know how I can prove that, but the problem is that you need to think on scale. This is a very, very big place. You look at that picture right there. If that was our galaxy, which it isn't, because we're looking out from our galaxy, so we don't have a picture of our galaxy, because that's a long ways away to get an image like that. To go out and turn around and get an image, we just, even the farthest objects we have would never be far enough. Voyager, if you believe this, and I get you don't, Voyager and Voyager 1 and 2 have only just left our solar system into the envelope of what we consider interstellar space. They are nowhere near leaving our galaxy behind. It's just not even a fathomable thing in a human existence to even really think about the amount of time it would take to do that. So yeah, you got to just think scale. It's big. So the fact that the stars don't move, it's because everything's, even though when you look at them, in this image, for instance, these stars look very close, but the distance between these stars is like light years and light years. Like so that means at the speed of light, it would take you years of travel. Well, we can't even go near the speed of light, let alone the speed of light. And mathematically, whether or not you can actually go with the speed of light is questionable. But anyway, so I have yammered. Now my turn. So rebut, please, by all means.
All right. Well, you just said something that I like. The distance between the stars we see up close are light years away, right?
Sure.
According
yeah.
to what you...
Well, hold on. The ones I said between, like, the distance you see. Well, yeah, and even what you're seeing there away from us, they're light years away and stuff, right? So yes. Right.
The stars that I'm seeing close up, like within our galaxy, the spaces between those stars is light years apart. So there's more empty space than actual stars, right? Correct?
Well, ultimately there is, yeah. Because the star just takes up. It'd be like throwing a bunch of dust across your table. you know, I mean, if you heaped it on and made your table covered in dust, then yeah. But if you just took like a handful of dust and blew it across your table, I mean, just you know, if you speckled your entire countertop, I mean, if you actually did the math, I mean, you still, I mean, unless you covered that bitch with dust, you probably have a lot more countertop than you do of dust, because each one of those specks is just a tiny little speck in a void, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, because as I'm looking at that image, and to deconstruct it based on what you're telling me it is, one thing I want to ask you is, it looks like a swirl with like smoke going around, and I will agree that this is a real photo. It's not like a NASA manufactured.
I mean, I'd
image.
even be willing to introduce you to the guy that took it at some point if you ever want to get into a stream and chat with him, because he'll talk to you about it.
That's fine. There are unusual objects up above us. I mean, the moon is weird looking, the stars, the sun, and these little swirls, all of them look weird. The question is, how far are they? How big are they? Is what we have a different opinion, you know. But one thing I'm looking at it, if this was a galaxy built like the one we're in, and that these spirals that I'm looking at are made out of stars, I don't know how I would see it that way, because that looks like smoke kind of going around a circle that's lit up in the middle, you know. And if it was built the way you're saying, I don't think we'd really see it like that. It would be just like what's supposed to be glowing in the middle right there. What is that? Like a big
So we didn't. This is all newer information, obviously, because of.
So let me hold on. I'm asking you things. What's that big giant? That big giant glowing thing in the middle is bigger than the stars close to me in my galaxy. And then so that's question number one. What is that? Question number two is, if there's so much empty space between stars, why am I even seeing those spirals?
Well, but this is what tells you how far away they are. So this is why. Okay, so like, for instance,
your sound just went way down. I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now? Check, check.
Hey, girls. I'm gonna close this. I'm having my debate right now. Hey, sorry, my people came home. All right, go ahead, Brainy. Can you? I don't really hear you, man.
I got you. Well, I wasn't talking just now, but can you hear me now?
Not like before. Hold on.
It must be on your end. Dick, can you hear me?
Wait a minute.
I hear you good. Yeah.
Might be on your end. You must have leaned on the volume button there, buddy.
No, my volume's all the way up.
Here.
It's like it sounds like it's not on speak. Maybe it's not on speaker anymore, but I don't want to mess with the feed. Hold on.
Well, yeah, you might have pressed a button.
I don't know what happened, man.
Well, Dick, what does it look like on your phone? Are you gonna have like a little speaker button there?
For Discord.
Hey, I'll just deal with it. If I hold it up to my ear, I can hear you. But it was better before, man. But if you can fix that, would be great. I barely hear you now.
Yeah, but if you got to hold it up to your ear, then is it coming out of your speaker or is it coming out of your earpiece? I mean, that's gonna be on your end, man. Because Dick can hear me.
You might have just hit the volume button down on the side of your phone. You might want to.
No, but I'm hitting it. I'm hitting it. It's all the way up, and then but on my phone it says it's there's like that loading symbol at the bottom, like the little circle is loading, and then on the left side in the orange letters it says connecting, as though I'm not already connected. I don't know what that means.
Well, we could try to. How about now? Can you hear me better now?
I hear the same, but go ahead, man. I'll just hold the phone up to my ear like I'm talking to you.
Well, what about Dick? Does Dick sound low too?
Yeah, but everything.
Sound quiet, or is mine up? Yeah, I'm
both.
Okay.
Okay, so it's on. You could always try. Okay, well, we don't want to. As long as you can hear us, if you hold up to your phone, just hold it like you're having a phone conversation, I guess, and then you can look at the computer there. Make sure you don't
rebut.
Okay, well, so this is kind of where the distance. Oh, the only thing is, it doesn't look like you're coming through to everybody else.
Damn.
When losing, I don't see. Check. Oh no, sorry. What am I thinking? You're not fucking talking. Duh.
Hey,
it's because we switched the audio around. So go ahead.
You guys switched something?
No, we're good. No, it wasn't on my end. I thought I did something different there.
Hey, you know what? My wife is here. I'm gonna ask her if she knows how to get it working better.
I think we think all you did is turn off speakerphone is what you think you did.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I'll try to get it, man. But if I hang up by accident, just call me back. I'll try to get speakerphone.
We'll figure it out. We'll do a jig. We'll entertain the audience.
Usually every time you called me, it went straight to speakerphone. So let me see. Yeah, I hope I don't mess it up.
You'll be good. Yeah, just what are you, Android or iPhone?
I don't know.
Well, that's not a good sign. Okay, yeah. Let's get your wife to help you.
That's awesome. Sorry.
No, I don't. Okay, let me go get her, man. Hold on. You need to take another leak.
No, I'm good. I'm good this time. I'm good to go. I'm just gonna slurp on this nice cold coffee at this point. My tooth up here is kind of upset with me. Everybody, I was flossing. I'll just talk to them while you.
I'm showing her the phone right now, man. She might.
It's all good. Here, I'll. I wonder if I can.
I don't hear it on speaker.
1 second here. I'll just. Here, I'll do. Here, I'll. Hey, I wonder if you can hear me. Here, I'll cut you guys out of the conversation for 1 second. Here, Dick, you guys do this for 1 second. Okay, so everybody, I had this situation where I was sitting here with a flosser, and I was flossing at my teeth, and I had this spot that I'd been keeping an eye on, like we do, and all of a sudden it like cut the floss, and I was like, chink, and I had a cavity. It turns out, like, I got the old flashlight out and stuck her up to my mouth in the mirror, and turns out I had a cavity that, like, you could see decay inside the actual tooth. And it was this close to the nerve in the end, because, like, first thing in the morning I called the dentist. I was like, we got a tooth to drill. Let's get this bitch fixed. They may have fixed the audio, so I'm gonna check back in with them. You guys fix it up? Oh shit, no mic. You guys fix it up? Check.
How are we looking?
All right, something went wrong, man.
Is it back or no?
No, I gotta just listen to you like it's on the phone, man. I don't know what happened.
Okay. What are you gonna do?
Well, that's weird.
Yeah. It's all right. We'll tough it out, man.
We'll tough it out. We can tough it out for a bit long. So where I was gonna go with this is that, this is the thing. If you look at these stars, like when you look all around us, and I will bring up an image here. So I'll gather that while I mention this. But basically, when you look around us, we can see all the stars around us, and we can see that we're in one of these galaxies, and there's evidence of that I will show you right now. I just gotta get an image up on the screen here. So you know when you look up, Vlad, and you see the Milky Way? Like, you've heard of that, eh? Like, it's really dark, and you've heard of the Milky Way. Oh, you can see the Milky Way, right?
Well, I know the what you're talking about. You know?
Yeah, like it's a patch in the sky. It's got like a swirl of like lighter. It's kind of like a lighter patch in the stars, kind of thing. There's kind of
it's like a crack. It's like a crack in the firmament.
Oh, okay, yeah, crack in the firmament. But actually, if you maybe you never know. But what I want to show you.
We don't know.
hey,
right. I'm listening to you guys.
No, hey, we're having this debate, man. It's all good.
I mean, you've got proof right there behind you. I see a curved Earth. I mean, debate's over.
Well, you know what? That is apparently a live image. I don't believe them either, because I think it's just looped. But I think it was live at one point. So I'll give you that. But hey, listen, you got to admit.
Tell me about this galaxy, dude. Because I'm just seeing smoke. I'm
working on it.
And then I'll throw in one last thing, because I'll give you all three. Okay, because the original point was I'm saying we would see movement in the stars if they move as much as Vsauce is telling us. Now here's the thing: if we're in this galaxy, and let's say we're on this first arm that's coming from the right side of the center of that glowing ball towards us, it's looping towards us, and then there's another arm that's starting on the left side of that glowing ball and it's moving away. Now you switch to the Milky Way. Man, can you go back to the other one?
Yeah, you'll get it in 10 seconds.
All right. So what I'm saying, if we're on one of those arms, we can look across to the if we can see this tiny galaxy that's way farther from us, we can look across our own galaxy at stars on that other arm, and would they be moving? Shouldn't we see them moving? They're moving in an opposite direction from us. So if the ones in our arm, in that swirl that we're in, they're all moving one way, you can make that point. But from that swirl, let's say the one we're in is the one closest to us. If we look across at the other side, wouldn't we see stars moving the other way and moving out of position for the constellations to remain fixed over thousands of years?
But see, this is what I'm kind of talking about.
That thing's swirling. It's like when you flush a toilet, that swirl is moving, right? It's like a flush. Okay,
Absolutely.
So how come? And if it's moving as much as Vsauce tells us or more, because the arms are probably moving more than the individual star, how come we don't see anything moving? They're a nice close-up.
Okay, so I can answer you if you let me.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I have to ask you, how far on that image of yours, and I'll leave your image up first for a minute. We'll talk about that first. How far do you think you travel on one of those arms in your lifetime?
I don't know.
Okay, so this image we're looking at here.
Oh, I know. Hold on. I would travel if I was a star. I mean, we travel.
No, but just us. We are traveling with our star. So how far in your entire human lifetime do you think that how far do you think you travel in one? You're a speck in one of those dusty clouds right there. How far do you travel?
Well, according to you guys, I travel as much as Vsauce showed in that other image.
But you're looking at, this is a galaxy. That's an image of a solar system. So like they're not even on the same level. Like you got to remember
that's one star. The sun is a star, right? According to you guys.
And if you'd let me get to what the clouds are, because you still aren't letting me get there, and I'm going to try, because you asked that a while ago, but you keep taking me off target before I can tell you.
Go ahead. Yeah, I had a 3-part question, but the knockout punch is the fact that if we can look at a distant galaxy, we can look at from one side of our own galaxy to the other side, and those stars that are swirling opposite from us times 2. Because we're moving one way, the other arm's moving the other way, so you double the speed. If we're moving as much as Vsauce says, we would see over 5,000 years some movement, but we see none.
Okay, so again, but you need to let me answer now. So can you listen for a little bit? And actually, because you just keep asking the same thing over and over again and not letting me actually answer you. So if you let me answer you, you can leave if you want.
Go ahead, man.
Okay, so here's the thing. So you look at this, and again, you need to answer my question. How far do you think in your 100 years that you could hopefully possibly live, we all want to live a decent life, in your 100 years that you hope to live, how far do you actually think you will travel along one of these dusty arms that you're looking at in this galaxy that we're looking at right here? Like
I don't think I travel at all on those dusty arms, but according to Vsauce, I will present to you that we move as much as he's saying. This is what you guys are telling me.
But that's a non-answer, because you're just outing and saying, well, I mean, as much as he says. Well, okay, but that other image, which I can
Why
bring
is that
back
a non-answer?
Well, okay, because I can bring up that other image right there. We'll put it back. You'll get it in 10 seconds like you do. And the thing is, you're comparing two things that are completely different in scale. This image right here that you're looking at is showing a representation of our sun and us orbiting the sun in a human lifetime. So 100 years is 100 circles of the sun, right? Under our model. But
the sun in that image is moving from point A to point B.
Hold on, let him finish. Hold on.
But Vlad, you're comparing it to a galaxy and saying, how far are we going to see that galaxy move? Well, in your puny little 100-year
No, I'm not saying for the
existence,
galaxy to move. You're not understanding you're not understanding what I'm saying.
I am. You're not letting me finish. You're saying how far.
You take too long.
Vlad,
go ahead.
I mean,
Vlad,
I'm going to tell you right now, the audience can see through this.
But that's
you're not going to win.
I've been waiting 10 minutes for him to finish. Go ahead.
You've also been interrupting for 10 goddamn minutes. So if you let a guy finish, maybe we could be on to the next subject. I mean, the audience can
Go
see
ahead.
this. It's not like they're all going to be like, Brainy got schooled. They can see that you're not answering a fucking thing. So, I mean, that's the problem.
Don't get upset, Brainy.
No,
I'm listening to you. Go ahead,
you're
man.
right, but you do need to listen. So the problem is that you're comparing in this image here, which is, sorry, I never transitioned to, I realized. That'll come up in 10 seconds. In this image here, you're comparing a representation of our planet circling around the sun like 100 times, and you're comparing it to our galaxy, which in your tiny little human lifespan, or even 5,000 years, you're not moving very far on that arm. It's like a dot, a pixel on that picture I showed you. And so just by the way, to dial all the way back to what you're looking at when you see those smoky arms, because you said, what are we looking at? Well, the problem is, you can't see, you're forgetting how tiny you are in that image. You cannot see all the way from one entire side of that galaxy to the other. You see, when you look out in the stars you see around you, the only reason you can see the distant galaxies is because they're so big and they're so bright and they're so in the dark void. So they stand out. But the stars that are actually make up the stars in our galaxy are actually like, I can't even remember where the fuck I was going there. So I'm going to show you an image here. And this is what I was trying to bring to, wherever the fuck it is here. Image 3.
How can I see other galaxies, but I can't see stars across my own galaxy?
Because they're obscured by the galaxy, and that's what the Milky Way is. I'm going to try to show you. This is why, just let me grab an image, okay? So just let me figure out which image it is. So, oh, it's right on the screen. There it is. Okay, so if you, in 10 seconds, you'll get that image of the Milky Way again, and I want to explain to you what you were seeing here, sir. So if you will allow me, okay? And I'm going to bring up the other image, just so you actually have a representation of what I'm trying to show you, okay? So what I want you to see here, okay, is that, and oh, I got to transition properly for you. There you go. So you'll get the two images at the same time.
No.
So now you said about the smoky arms. Now, what are we looking at with the smoky arms? They look fake, all that stuff. Okay, well, that image on the right is, or on the left
No,
is
I'm not
real.
saying they look fake. I didn't say they look fake. I said
Okay.
I will agree it's a real photo of a strange object in the
but
sky.
you said, why do they look smoky and all that stuff? I'm trying to explain to you what the
I'm saying they don't look like they're made of stars. They look like smoke.
Okay,
Like
but
something.
look at,
I'm saying they look like something close and got smoky swirls going around it, like, you know.
okay, but look at
like
the image
Jupiter's
on the left.
got Saturn
okay,
got
but-
rings going around it.
Vlad, do you see the image? Do you see the image? Do you see the image on the left, Vlad?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that look like to you? Does that look like
Crack
smoke?
in the firmament.
A crack in the firmament. Okay, so I have a video to show you now then, because this is okay. So we're gonna look at a video together real quick, and let me just do. I just have to bring up. I have it bookmarked, so don't worry, people. This will not be like a. This won't be like an epic search for this. I've got it. Here we go. Okay, so here's. Okay, so I'm not going to play the audio from that because I fear that it's copyright in some way. And I just need to bring the actual window capture. There it is. Okay.
What's that smoke supposed to be? The brown looking stuff.
Well, but that's what you're seeing is there's sections where there's so many stars that it's well, in that image you're actually looking towards the center of the galaxy. So when you said what's that brightness in the center, they have discovered more recently through experimentation that they believe there's supermassive black holes at the center. I know this is going to really make you really love it even more.
It looks bright. But I'm saying,
Yeah.
what's that cloud? What's that brown cloud covering the glow?
But this is what I'm trying to explain to you, Vlad, is that what you're actually seeing is just sections of not stars. And there's also
stars.
Well, okay, so
Is
what
that
about
dark
the image?
matter?
You can't see dark matter. But okay, so here's the video.
What's that brown cloud?
I keep telling you, dude, you're not listening. So I'm gonna
You didn't tell me yet.
Okay, so here, take a look at this, Vlad. You'll see it on the screen in just a second here. You'll get it in 10 seconds. I want you to take a look at the screen and tell me. Oh no, yeah, no, I did transition. It's good. You'll get it in a few seconds here. I want you to tell me what you see here in this image and what it looks like. Now, this is trying to give you a different perspective on the rotation.
Firmament crack.
Firmament crack. Okay. That's interesting. So, what's the firmament made of?
I don't know.
How high is it?
I don't know.
Hold on, I got something else for this. Oh, no, I don't have that audio set up in there. Hold on. I have to bring that audio over. Wait, say something. You working there? Check, check.
I'm here.
Tell.
There's a nice picture, man.
Well, that's the rotation. So,
That the sky's moving.
There we go.
That looks like the Titanic's going down.
So I would like you to tell me.
Hey,
tell
Earth
me,
looks flat.
So interesting. So tell me, why do you? So okay. So the Bible doesn't say anything about. You. I take it you're looking at the screen right now.
Yeah, it's hard for me to debate with that picture, man. It's too funny.
So
you gotta help me, Doc.
So Vlad, tell me. I want to know. I want to know about. I want to know about why, like, because the Bible doesn't say the Earth is flat, by the way. So why do you, like? Okay, so the question I have is, okay, so why are and I mean this. We're gonna because we're already getting towards the end. So I would like to move it. You know, if there's something specific on there, we can have a round 2. I would love to have a round 2 with you. Fight the Fire.
Yeah, round 2, man.
Yeah, for sure. But I would like to, if Dick's okay with that, I think it'd be. Let's move to the freestyle maybe portion of this a little bit.
Yeah.
So one of the things that
you're gonna have to start charging, Dick.
I like your.
Dick doesn't work for free, man. First one's a freebie.
No, we always this is part of the game. We all kind of hang out.
Who's paying you guys to do this shit, man?
See, and that's where I'm going with this question. So, so thanks for that. So the question I have is, why do you think, and I mean this sincerely, like, why do you think that, like if you truly believe that we're being paid? I mean, I've been paid by some of the fantastic audience here that's thrown some super chats, and don't forget, we're gonna read those super chats at the end. I know I've got a few of them there. It's not letting me see them in the main window here, but I'll have to bring up Streamlabs to get them. But yeah, so if you have super chats, get them in before the end of the stream, and we'll read them up. But other than that, I'm being paid by the audience that is enjoying watching this. But I'm really curious as to why. Do you actually think that I'm paid? And if the answer is yes, by all means, say it. We'll have a healthy debate about it.
No, I'll tell you what. I think it's strange. I'll answer you. I think it's strange that you put a lot of. I'm not saying you're paid. I'm not saying you're not paid, but I think that it's strange that you put a lot of time into this, into simply defending the status quo. Now, on my side, flat Earth is exciting. Like, what? That's a mind-blowing thing that a whole world is lying to us about the shape of the Earth, but it's really flat. That's like, what the hell, man? That could motivate people to do stuff. I don't understand what's motivating you to defend and put time and energy into defending the boring status quo. I mean, you put a lot of time and effort into this. I just wonder why.
Yeah, but I mean, I could actually make the same argument in the reverse order. I mean,
I don't put much time into it. It's like a hobby. My wife doesn't like when I do it. I work most of the time. I do this a little bit here and there. Right now is the most I've ever done, you know. But you do it a lot. I wonder what. So that's what motivates me. I find it fascinating. It's like a hobby. I spend a couple hours a week, debating with people on YouTube. I don't even look at flat Earth videos anymore. I've seen them all. They're kind of boring. I'm looking at other stuff, and I have that belief, and I like talking about it. It's not boring. But if I was like a globe believer, it'd get boring. But maybe you find it fascinating talking to a nut that thinks the Earth is flat. Maybe that's why you do it. People like to work with lunatics. Like you had me on your chair there. Yeah, I don't know what motivates you.
This is obviously. Actually, this is exactly what motivates me. I think you guys are a fascinating group because.
That makes sense.
Well,
that's fine. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, and this is. I mean it in a sincere way. You're gonna hear more of these sounds come across. We're gonna read those at the end. That'll be fun.
My father's disgusted in me that I believe this shit, but he loves me. But he can't. He told my brother, man, I can't believe my son believes the Earth is flat. He's like, you know,
Oh,
you know what I mean? So it blows people's minds. So I hear you, man. I mean, we don't have to spend a lot of time here. It's not a big deal. You know, psychoanalyzing one another's motives. You know, if you want to keep talking about that, I'm gonna run out of time. It's up to you.
Well, I
How
mean,
you want to wrap up? I'm not calling you a shill, man, because you know, but
no, I really
talking to you makes sense.
I really want to psychoanalyze a little bit. That's kind of well, because one of the things that I wanted to ask you, you're religious, and so I will ask the typical question that, and it's not an attack on religion. You actually probably like this. I want to ask you the typical question that I tend to like to ask. Actually, anybody who's really against space and science and is religious, is I always like to ask the question of, you know, why is space in the face of religion? Since depending on depending how you interpret certain verses of the Bible, some people seem to think it talks about flat Earth. Now, I have a friend who went to basically like whatever you call it, a reverend school, or you know, he went to a religious college where he's basically being groomed to be a minister of sorts, and he ended up getting out of religion because of all of the things that were conflicting to him, and he actually didn't like all the things that didn't line up. So and I'm not attacking, that's his journey. Everybody's got their own journey. But when I talk to him about flat Earth, he says to me, he looks at me, and he knows, like, I can ask him a question and be like, what about this? And he can be like, well, in this verse and that verse, this and this and this. Like, he knows his Bible, and he can be like, you know, they don't really say the Earth is flat at all. Like, and so the thing is, my question is with that being just an interpretatory look at things, and why would the Earth being spinning and being rotating in space and traveling through space and all of these things, why would that be in the face of religion and not necessarily even to support it? Because I'll be honest with you, I'm not religious, and I'm okay with saying that. I like to say I'm agnostic, because I don't think that atheism's fair in a lot of ways, because that's also preaching an unknowing. Or a knowing, sorry, and I kind of feel like I don't really know, so why would I say I know? So I like to preach agnostic, but my thing is, the more you look at space,
what makes more sense? You evolved from a monkey, or your God made you? What makes more sense?
It makes no sense to me that some magical person came along and just popped me into existence.
How did you magically turn? But what makes more sense, that a magical person came along and popped you into existence, or that nothing magically popped you into existence? At least we have the magic wizard in the sky. You guys have no magic wizard in the sky, but a story of magic.
Okay, but we can see the magic.
We got the magic wizard, man.
Yeah, but the problem is, but my problem.
You can't have magic without the wizard, man.
But my problem, Vlad, is that I don't
ask
understand.
Me another question. Man, ask me another question, because I'm jumping you into now another room. But finish your first question. I like your first question. I like your first one, man.
I'm not sure what you mean by the first one, but all I was going to try to
the one you were going with about your friend being in seminary, and then he learned, and the Bible doesn't say one way or necessarily or the other, and why does space bother a religious person?
But that's where I'm going. So why? Yeah. So that's the thing. Like I'll be honest with you. From my perspective, as a person who doesn't believe, okay, the more you look deeper in, and we find more and more, like, you know, like, you got electrons and protons and neutrons, and then we've got quarks, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller as we go down further and further and further. So my thing is, and as we look outwards, it gets larger and larger and larger, and we're unlocking more and more mysteries of the universe. And like, the thing is, the more we look, the deeper the puzzle seems to get. And it's not like scientists are claiming that they know everything, because really every time they discover something new and they go, look, we've discovered the Higgs boson particle. That's the particle that assigns mass to atoms, which if you don't believe them, you don't believe them. But Vlad, they've discovered the existence that they theorized of a particle that assigns mass. So that's the particle that basically they call it the God particle. You'll love that. And they call it that because it's the one that makes gold, and dog shit. Basically,
well, who made the God particle?
Well, and that's where I'm going with this, though, Vlad. See, this is the thing, though, is what I'm trying to say to you is that like, people that are fairly religious might say, well, you know, scientists don't know shit because of this and that. But the reality is that they discover so many things that really at no point do they ever unlock so much that they go, this is why we exist, or this is anything. In fact, if anything, they actually kind of open up a deeper and deeper Rubik's Cube that just has more and more layers that they can never seem to, every time they crack open another layer, it's like they fill up another set of chalkboards that have a whole nother list of things that could be discovered, and they go, well, hold on a minute then. And the thing is that flat earthers tend to use that as like a Hail Mary gotcha moment against science, because they go, well, look they just discovered that this scientist didn't know shit about that. But the reality is that that's how science is made. One scientist says, well, I think this because of this, this, and this. People confirm the results. They go, well, you know what, I think you might be right. That's how we believe things to be. And then as another scientist comes along and goes, you know what, Donkey McDonkey Hump there was really stupid because he didn't do this and his experiment was flawed for these reasons, and then he redoes the experiment, he rediscovers new results, maybe he reconfirms the other results, but the bottom line is that then other people peer review it, they look at it, they say, oh, well, I mean, yeah, you're right, that guy didn't do it right, you have a really solid reason for why this person was wrong. It doesn't mean that the other person was a liar or a shill, or that science is fake because that person was wrong. It just means that he was working with what limited information he had. It would be like trying to tell somebody from 1,000 years ago that you're stupid for not being able to figure out how a TV works. Well, I mean, he didn't have all these other things that, electricity hadn't been sorted out. They were, they didn't have they couldn't make silicon semiconductors, and they, didn't have capacitors, and so to say that the guy was stupid because he couldn't figure that out or something, I mean, it's kind of along the same vein. You need, so all I'm getting at is, the long story short of it is that why, if I could wrap it into one question, why does any of this negate God to you? I just don't understand what makes it. Is it a fear thing? Because it still doesn't change anything. For instance, why can God not be the person who set all of this in motion? Maybe evolution does exist, but God set it forth. I mean, the Bible does say that everything's planned by him. It's all part of his plan. So perhaps that's part of his plan. Why can God make me get hit by a car on a Saturday, but he can't make me evolve from a monkey? And why would that make me any less special if I evolved from a monkey than if I just appeared like Adam and Eve on the planet? I think both those things are pretty magical. The fact that he still managed to make a planet, make the entire universe, make the physics that run the entire universe, that form our entire existence. I mean, that's a pretty big feat. I don't think that we are taking a single thing away from him by saying that we didn't just appear here. See, this is the thing. You take it from an approach, like your religious view is that you take it from an approach of like we're taking something away from God by saying that we evolved. But in reality, I just don't know that we are. I think if anything, we're maybe even supporting him in some ways. You know what I mean? Does that make sense to you, Vlad?
Yeah. Well, you said two things. One thing, if I believed in God when I believed in evolution and the Big Bang and the space and Earth, around Earth, I still believe in God because God was there kind of pushing it along, and he's got it all the balls rolling to begin with and made the balls, right? And now I still believe. So, but the two things you said is, one, if God is pushing evolution along, that's fine. That's fine. But the thing is, with that evolution and Big Bang and space theory, what I don't like about it, it removes God from the equation. On the highest level of that understanding, you guys don't need God. Because the Big Bang happened. We haven't. Hold on, let me finish. You guys. The Big Bang happened, but we don't know how it happened yet. Of course, it wasn't God. It can be anything but a being beyond our perception that has power to create. It's like you guys will believe anything but that. That's what's strange to me. But if God, like I said, I used to believe in space. I still believe in God. But the thing that we religious people like about flat Earth is it gives us a little more of ground to stand on, because now it's some of the stuff the scriptures say leans more in our favor. And I'll agree with you, it's a little vague. I mean, the Bible doesn't come straight out and say the earth is flat or the earth is a ball, but there are scriptures where it says says he's enthroned above the circle of the earth. And in Hebrew they had the word for circle, and they had a word for sphere, but it wasn't used. So you can just say, well, that doesn't really mean anything, or you could say, well, it means a lot. It means everything, So you go back and forth. But for people like me, the flat Earth gives us more confidence and a firmer ground to stand on, because we could say, you guys who believe in the Big Bang and remove God from being the author of creation and separating man from God, we can tell you guys all that stuff you're saying is not true. You can't prove any of it. You don't have photos. You can't demonstrate it. You just talk. They're a bunch of fake pictures, and what we believe could be just as true, because you can't prove it either. And and when we look around, we can make little observations here and there. I mean, we can go tit for tat on that image you had of the galaxy. It's hard to really have a final victory, man. I mean, and just the fact that it's hard for you to prove to me without a doubt that Earth is round is in my favor. Like, if it is a ball, it should be easy for you to prove it by now, man. We got satellites around. That guy Scott Manley has a video where there's a satellite 1 million miles away from Earth, and it happened to capture the eclipse. So why can't you? But it's always shows you that same Earth ball marble. How come if he can zoom in from 1 million miles, how come he can't zoom in to me waving at him and then see me carried around the rotation of the Earth? So there's always like a story we get, and not just clear proof. Like, you guys should be able to prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Now, you shouldn't have a guy like me even standing any chance in a debate like this. It should just be obvious, but it's not. That's funny to me. But to answer the God question, that's my view on that. I don't like that space Big Bang removes God from the equation, and I think it created a lot of atheists in the world. That's why I hate what's evil. I love what's good, and I think that's a deception, that we're monkeys on a ball floating around aimlessly in space with no purpose or meaning. Nothing matters. I mean, if there's no God, you just do whatever you want. What does it matter if you murder people? What does it really? It doesn't. You just do whatever you want. Who cares? As long as you don't get caught, it's all about me.
Yeah, but that argument. I've heard that argument from religious people before, and I find it to be a terrible argument, because the reason you don't murder people is because
man, I don't want to go down that road, but that's all. I'll just leave. I don't want to go too detailed, but I'll just leave. Yeah. You ask me a simple question, I'll give you my. I think I gave you a simple answer. I don't want to talk too much, But that's my view.
Okay, well, here, the problem is, Vlad, that I can show you evidence, but if you don't accept it, if you just come up with all the reasons why you don't.
I want evidence. I'm looking. You haven't showed me any evidence. Yeah, well, I'm waiting for evidence. If there was evidence, I wouldn't believe this stupid stuff about flat Earth. Man. Everyone would like me again.
But even like an image like this, okay? So an image like this on the screen,
my computer turned off.
Oh, it'll come back on. It's all good. And I think I hear Vlad's kids at some point there, so we'll try not to keep too long here. Yeah, so if you look at an image like this is a weather image from a satellite. It's from GOES 16. And this is how they get weather. This is how they know where clouds are.
Weather balloon.
You can't. Do you know how many weather balloons you'd need, Vlad? I mean, you said it yourself. Look at where Baumgartner is. You can't see, and he's way up there. And so the thing is, you can't. He's seeing such a small circle around him. Now the problem is, Vlad, that you're really misunderstanding how big a country like America or Canada is when you say weather balloons. I mean, how many?
Well, how do you know that's not a composite? That might be. They got a bunch of there are objects above us. Most are weather balloons. Some might be some craft that you and me don't know about.
Okay, so Vlad, see this image? Okay, but here, it'll be there in a second. Okay, so see this image right here? Okay, now, is it daylight where you are right now, Vlad? Just barely?
Nighttime.
How long? Like you're right along that termination line. This is 1 UTC, so that's
right now nighttime over here.
Yeah, that's an hour old. So he's over here. He's just past this termination line. Well, see this image right here is showing.
I want to see Scott Manley zoom into me, then I'll believe it from space, because I'm seeing pictures from one point and then from another, but there's never a transition from me waving to you and then you go out past the Milky Way or wherever Scott Manley's satellite is. How come there's no flow from? You guys always have an excuse. there's always some. You can do it, but you can't do it. That's what's fishy to me.
Well, I don't
You
think
can
that
do
they
it, but you can't do it.
Yeah, well, but I don't think that satellite can do it. So the problem is that.
Well, you can shoot them from 1,000,000 miles away. How can it not shoot an extra?
Okay, so Vlad, how many
50
images...
miles and zoom into me?
Come on,
Okay,
Vlad. Let him give time for his answer. Come on.
I'm gonna start calling you
on.
Russian
Ref.
pretty soon, buddy.
You
gotta let
Ref
people
gonna
answer.
take a point.
Well, you gotta let people answer, or else you're not having a debate. You're just having a talk. So the thing is, Vlad, that I just kind of lost my beat there. The problem is that you're asking them to do things that, like, there's money involved with doing this, and besides, there are different satellites
Always
involved
excuses.
with that. Well, but Vlad,
There's
okay,
always
it's
excuses.
okay. So Vlad, if I have a telescope, how good is a telescope at being a short-range camera? You want to take a picture of somebody 5 feet away with a telescope. You can put cameras in the back of most modern telescopes. So you want to take a picture of somebody 5 feet away. You want to get their whole body. How good of a job is that telescope going to do at taking a picture of somebody 5 feet away, Vlad? That's why do you think the new phones come with wide-angle lenses and bullshit? Because when somebody's standing, when somebody's standing close to you,
there's a lot of cameras, man. You guys should have some clear proof by now, and you don't. It's always like either the Earth from far away or
you can
from
dodge.
not,
You can
not
dodge.
that far.
You can dodge the question if you want.
All you guys got is technology, but you don't have any clear proof. Scott Manley can videotape the Earth from 1,000,000 miles.
That's okay. They're not. So that's okay. The audience isn't going to hear him for a second. Dick, sorry. Unfortunately, you're in the same thing as him, so he's just going to be muted for a second. Vlad, you need to listen if we're going to have a debate. Otherwise, you're just going to call you Russian vids, and that's all you're going to be, Russian vids. Because he doesn't fucking listen to nobody either.
You know, he's not giving me an answer. He's not. You're avoiding. There's no reason why you can't give me what I want.
You're Russian vids. You're not listening. Okay, so listen to the fucking answer, and you'll get one. Like, Jesus.
Don't watch your mouth. My girl is here listening right now. She's on my lap.
I thought I was in your ear. Well, that's fair enough. Don't be potty mouth. You person in the live stream there. So the problem is that those are different satellites, and the thing is, the Americans use, like, for instance, when have you ever actually seen an image of somebody live waving from anything? The only people that even claim to be able to do that is, like, the U.S. government. And why do you think when there's a war,
right? They can zoom into my license plate. I thought, like, in the 70s, like, satellites can zoom into your license plate. I'm glad you reminded me about that.
Yeah. Okay.
So what's the problem?
And Vlad,
this is 40 years, 50 years later.
Important enough that they give a flying flip about Vlad and his license plate. So they're going to take all of their money. They're going to take, because do you know what it takes to divert those satellites? They have to burn the thrusters. They have to change its trajectory. Well, you can say it's excuses if you want, but that's just you.
Yeah, they can do it, but they can't do it. They have money, but they don't have enough money.
So your answer is...
It sounds like a liar to me. That's how liars talk. We can do it, but we can't do it. Prove it. Well, it's too expensive. I could do it, but we don't. I talked to a lady from JPL. She spoke in front of this geek, like, space club that's in the neighborhood, and my friend invited me and asked her, how come you guys don't just put a good high quality HD camera on the satellite and give us some good images of like Jupiter shot from your satellite as it's passing by? You never see any movement. Like, you'll see a grainy picture or a clear picture, but they're all just shot from Earth. If the satellite was passing around Jupiter, we would see how the camera is moving. We never see that, and it's grainy. How come you guys don't put a nice clear camera on there? And say, oh, we can't afford it. I say, I'll buy you the camera. And she goes, okay, well, then she says, then she said, we can't get it past the, he goes, you know how much radiation there's, we can't get it past. So I said, oh, so you can get a crappy camera past the radiation, but you can't get a good camera past the radiation. She didn't answer me. She took the next question, because that's how liars escape. Because I asked her, these are lies.
You weren't listening to her, Vlad. You probably
weren't letting her answer. She moved to the next question. I was all ears. Because I got her with that one. She moved to the next question. She said, we can't get a good camera past the radiation.
So what would be the important?
So ask me, how come she can get a crappy? Let me ask you a question. How come they can get crappy cameras past the radiation, but they can't get a good camera past the radiation?
Vlad, if you don't listen, you're just gonna get booted soon, because we're getting on 2 hours.
I don't care, man. I don't care. You can boo me right now. I don't care. Because I'm asking a question right now.
Well, Vlad, this isn't Vlad's stream. You need to listen too.
Yeah, it is. It is Vlad's stream. It is Vlad's stream.
Vlad,
just
you
sorry,
got
pal, but
so
It is Vlad's stream.
So the problem is with you not listening to answers is that all you're doing is asking the same question.
Nothing yet, man.
Well, because you haven't let me.
Fucking shut up and let him. What the hell is going on?
I told you. Hey, Ref, I told you. Watch your mouth. My little girl is here.
He told you to shut up.
Sorry, I forgot about
you need to cuss like that, boy. Hey, boy, what'd you just say? Well, you want to take me on that boxing match? You said F you? You said, hey, hold on. Did Ref just say F you to me?
I think he said something.
Sorry, what?
Did you just say F you to me, Ref?
No, I did not, and everybody will have just heard that I don't do that. What I did was giggle because I said, oops, I forgot there was a child involved.
All right. I thought I heard you say F you.
Easy with the whole tough guy thing. Let's just back off.
Yeah, so
don't say F you to Vlad, man, because then we're going to the boxing ring. I already challenged Beav to the boxing match afterwards.
Vlad,
just mute us off and take your turn, Beaver.
I'll have to eventually hear Vlad. I mean, so problem is, Vlad, that there's a lot of
guys, I gotta go. Look, it's getting out of hand. I'm losing pace. Look, it was a good debate. I want to do it again. I gotta go. It's getting late. My family's here. It's already like late, man. And I think we can wrap it up. We've been going we've been going more than 2 hours.
Yeah, we've been going on 2 hours. But
I don't have the patience to listen anymore. And I like to do it again. No one's gonna really win right now. We maybe one day we will. But I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it off right now. I'd love to debate you another time, but it's getting a little boring, man. My girls look cute, and I want to go play with them. And so I don't know.
Yeah, go out.
You know, man. I mean, it was fun. Not that I'm mad. I'm having a fun time. It's fun. I'm joking. I'm laughing when I'm fun. But just time to say hasta la vista.
Yeah, it's all good. So just say your last two things and just hop out. That's all you gotta do, buddy.
Because we're going in circles. Well, man, I don't know my last two things. I'll say I really enjoyed it. I'm glad. I'm happy you invited me on your show, Brainy, to debate this. I love this stuff, man. It's fun, and I don't mean any disrespect, man. I do out of love. I know I don't hate people I fight with. It's fun, you know. And I like to do it again. I really want the truth. If you guys present some solid evidence to me, I'm not gonna just bury my head in the sand and say, no, Earth is flat. I will look at it, you know, and I will switch. And I have a reputation. When I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I admit it. I put out videos on my channel where I was wrong, and I explain why I had it wrong. And I will do that, and I will. And I'll continue to do that because I like truth. It's not about my ego. Even though I like to win a debate, man. It's much better to win than to lose, because you're eating humble pie when you lose. You feel like a loser.
For
but
sure.
It's not about my feelings or my ego. I really want the truth, and ultimately, this stuff doesn't matter if it's flat Earth or round Earth. You know, it's a little like less filling tastes great. You know, it's just like two sides, man. It might just be just something to keep people arguing more, but I think it's more than that. You know, what matters to me more is the religious stuff. I enjoy talking about that too. If you believe in flat Earth but you're an atheist, or you don't believe in Christ, in the Christian faith, you know, get right with God through Christ, that's not going to do you any good. Ultimately, I mean, we're gonna live and die here. No one gets out of here alive. We want to connect with God. He made this place. One monk said the purpose of this life is to prepare for the life to come. That, you know, I'll say amen to that, because no one gets out of here alive. I believe God made this place as a testing ground, and and it's temporary. We know it's a testing ground because it's temporary. There's no reason we need to be made out of materials that break. He can make us unbreakable in the world to come. You know, that's where I want to be. I want to, you know, for me, I wouldn't want to die right now. You know, but I want to, you know, there's still things I'm working out. I want to be ready one day when it's time for me to go out and be ready and have a blessed life in the world to come, whether it's flat or round. Awesome. You know, if it's a globe, man, I don't care. I just want to be there. That's what matters. And I want, hopefully, if people listen to this and God is glorified and somebody hears that, that'll make me happy. I'll be blessed. That someone else could be truly blessed.
So on your just last thing before you go, just pitch your channel. You got your little channel there.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's RAD VLAD. RAD VLAD. I don't know if it says 71. My email says radvlad71@gmail.com. You know, RAD VLAD Flat Earth. It'll pop up a goofy picture, goofier than the one you've got of me right there. It's like a Snapchat. It's like me and my girl combined into one creature. It's hideous. When you see that, it's like me.
I got good Photoshop skills. I'll put hair on you. Don't watch out.
So, man, you guys come to RAD VLAD. If you want to see some stupid videos, come check them out. I'm good at making those.
Yeah, RAD VLAD, guys. Just exactly how it sounds. RAD VLAD. Just type it in.
Yeah, RAD, RAD-VLAD, RAD VLAD.
There you go. Holy crap. Carrie Oliver.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Hey, I gotta go, guys. My girl's asking me for something.
Yeah, take it easy, man. Thanks for coming. We'll chat again. Take it easy, buddy.
All right, bro. God bless you guys. Thank you
much. Yeah, take it easy.
All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Is this work for you and me on here? Or we could just leave it here. Oh, wait, I asked. Ooh, here. Okay, I'm going to send you a Meets link. We're going to pull Radical in here, and I throw together a quick little after panel here.
Yeah, cool.
And then we'll see if everything that you and I did there fucked anything up. Because, you know.
Just in Google Meet settings, quick little adjustment if need be. Boom, boom.
Yeah, well, actually, I only finally just figured out that you get that little icon on the top right that has the little recording icon, and that's how you change your camera and all that kind of crap. So that's been a new revelation for me.
Oh, yeah, a helpful one, too.
Join meeting. When I rebuild my computer, I'm going to be building it with accounts so that I don't, because the reason the stream shut down earlier is I pretty much outed my name again, because I've got, if I go into settings, like my Chrome is logged into me, which I don't really give a shit at the end of the day, I guess, but.
Oh, yeah. I have everything logged into the shill stuff when live, and then that way I don't have to worry, right?
Okay, here, jump out of here and jump into that.
Sure.
Okay, everybody, we're just pulling them in through Meets. It should come in here. And we'll discuss what just occurred. There we go. Ragical beat the dick. Sir Ragical, whatever the hell you're called. How you doing, bro? I don't think you're coming through here. 1 second. Let me just check my banana. Say something?
It works.
There you are.
Ah, lovely.
And then we got another thing for...
Wait a minute, I need to turn off the stream here.
Dicky Poo in here. There's Dick.
How's it going, guys? How was that?
That was something. Vlad's probably still watching. Hi, Vlad. We're going to make fun of you now, Vlad, though. We love you, but we're going to make fun of you, though.
Yeah.
It was less hectic than I expected, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean,
he did not. I will give.
So it's going to be a fight show.
Yeah, I will give Vlad that. Actually, he did pretty good at. Yeah, he was actually pretty okay until the end. He started getting Russian vidsy at the end.
Yeah.
You know, just basically not listening. Everything's just, why not? Why not, Beaver? Tell me why not? How does a telescope work, Beaver? Well, you see a telescope. Why didn't you answer it, Beaver? Beaver, answer the fucking question, Beaver! that was my recollection of the Russian vids conversation. It's like you couldn't even answer. It's just like, why not? Why didn't you answer it? Oh God. Hey, you're sending me a gray screen there, Radical. That's a real sexy look for you.
A gray screen?
Yeah, see?
Oh, I have the... How about now?
Yeah.
Can you see me now?
Now you look pretty again.
Too many options in the virtual world.
Did you guys like my
turning on the camera?
I'm about to read all the super chats for anybody sticking around, so we'll do that. We'll do that
housekeeping.
Here, we'll do the housekeeping. Vlad wanted to go. He had his family, and I, truth be told, could hear his kids, so it's fine. I figured he had to go right away, and we're running a little bit late just because of the technical difficulties at this point. But we will do the housekeeping.
Half an hour.
Yeah, I know that was bullshit. It was just because we never. Okay, Thomas and I are gonna sit down. Dick here are gonna sit down and go over some of the audio things because I got a crash course in banana a long time ago, by Piggy, and
Yeah.
I just have to retort. So there's a dick and a beaver playing on the internet, and you learn a lot about the banana.
Well, we'll be demonetized in a second as soon as the algorithm figures out the dick and the banana are together.
Yeah.
So here, just so everybody can see, here is the beauty that is what makes streaming a dick face. So you end up with everything coming in, and as you can see here, I think if I manipulate it, you'll see it live. You'll see talk Radical.
Which one am I?
Well, you're coming in.
Oh,
both of these, frankly, but this was set up for Discord there. But anyways, for now it's just off. It's not doing inputs or outputs. But so like anybody who doesn't know what we have to deal with, this is like basically if you look here, I've got my headset set to A1, my speakers are set to A2, and so this is how like if I want to listen to my speakers, I have to press this, and you can like check it. That was terrifying.
Oh, what's that?
Beaver, where did you say your microphone was connected?
Mic right here.
Okay, and what's A1 and 2 again for your output hardware?
Headset speakers.
Okay, good.
So then
okay.
I can turn. So this is what allows me, everybody, just so anybody who doesn't do this stuff knows, the people who do kind of got this figured out. This is what allows me to adjust, so Vlad being loud, I can turn him down in my head without turning him down for everybody else. Because these are the output.
Your setup makes no sense to me. We have to really go over it.
Okay, but I don't want to learn too much. I'm building a business too.
You won't have to. Once we set it all up, once we set it all up, you just save your settings, know which strips control which volume sources, and you're good to go.
All right, I'm okay with that then. I wonder if that froze that window. That's ridiculous. I don't remember having to have my meets window open for it to not freeze. Maybe I've got too many windows open. Is that
high IQ in it?
Can you have too much high IQ? Is it possible? Is it possible the IQ is high with me? Okay, so we're doing that thing we do where we just do nothing. So here, we'll do a bit of housekeeping. So get your last super chats in if you want. That was a big one towards the end there, which is, again, value doesn't matter, but that was...
33.
Yeah, I know, 3-3. We'll send that one. Make sure we get some tweeting. For that, I'll make sure I tweet at 33UC and pull him out for another whack-a-mole. You see how quick I was able to get him... Do you see how I just one tweet and I was just like, hey, can you tell me how to fix this? And he's like Brainy Beaver on Desert Island or on Fantasy Island. I was like, there he is. It was awesome. Okay, so to go over the super chats, we'll start at the earliest one all the way to John Rapp for $5 Australian. Testing, 1 2 1 2 3. Can you hear me? Testing. I added the last two, but that's fine. You get the idea.
Glitch made.
Yeah, $2 New Zealand dollars. I don't know. Is that as pixie dust worth as Canadian? I'm not sure. Let's find out. Hey Google, $1 New Zealand dollar to $1 Canadian dollar. Let's see what she says.
It's 1-on-1. Maybe.
Approximately 83 Canadian cents.
83 Canadian cents. You screwed me. I'm just kidding. Anyways, so no, thank you very much, Rick Bellamy. Darn, this guy rabbles a bunch of crap. I can get behind that. My phone is freaking out now and everything. Maybe it's nudes. No, I doubt it. Be Dick sending me nudes. Whoa. He's like, I thought I was just smack you out of it, Crashes RC budget builds and reviews. Thank you very much, sir. Konnichiwa. $2 American. American. I shall open my own hotel. I want a space taco with rocket delivery. I never got back to the space taco comment. I fairly fair. I don't want to use the word, well, that would be racist, but culturally racist. Yeah, whatever. Culturist? Anyways, moving onward. C4, $5 American. Some more of that ritzy American dough. So this isn't Vlad's first day as a flat earther because it sure sounds like it. So this isn't Vlad's first day as a flat earther. Yeah. Well, actually, I think he did okay at having his research down as far as flat Earth's concerned anyways.
At least he said something.
We'll get you up to shill quality in no time, logical trial. I love that idea. Let's all get me to shill quality. I want to be a shill. You can shill my life away. I always say, and the flat earthers, if they want to leave super chats, they can call me anything they want. I'll even take down the filters for a bit. John Rapp again for $5 Australian, though they'd never leave, or thought they'd never leave. All right, chat, now that they're gone. I think I did catch that as I came back. I was a quick peer, so Vlad there has some prostate problems, so he had to drip a little bit more. We got NANA for 666, the devil's number. Satan approves. You sure that's not 999? You know, if you're in Australia, it's $9.99, right? Actually, that's probably not far off either. 66. Hey Google, 666 American in Australian dollars. Come on.
666 United States dollars.
We'll take it.
Approximately 970 Australian dollars.
That was close. 970 something. So that's almost just exactly like you take American dollars and you rotate them and you get Australian dollars. That's all you do. That's what I've been taught.
That's awesome.
Okay, so then we've got we got Rick Bellamy again for thank you very much, $2 New Zealand dollars, money to pay for Dick. And get some dick. I'll toss it back Dick's way next stream is how I'll do. I'll throw it at the shows. We'll just make the only person that'll win is YouTube.
Yeah.
UTB Doug, I've seen you around, buddy. I recognize you. NASA payment, thanks. Don't mention us in taxes. Gotcha. John Rapp again for $5. Wow, John, thank you very much. Is Vlad calling the beaver a hooker? I guess I'm one of those paying for beaver. Super chat won't allow prostitute. They won't allow prostitute? Oh, demonetized. I'm yellow already. I'm sure of it. I was yellow when the stream started. They were like, Dick and beaver together? Pfft, too much flesh.
Yeah.
Now that I've got this beautiful face on here, it's just too much flesh for the algorithm. We got AJ Heap. Don't worry, we'll get through this and then we can chat for a few more minutes and then we'll let everybody go. We've been going for a little while. We got AKA the independent variable, $2 American, more of that sweet American cheese. Congrats, Brainy, you really poutine the work. Good job. You really poutine the work. Everybody give him a round of applause. That's pretty good. You got to admit. Here, let's get Vlad off the screen. He's scaring me. Scaring me. I was like, whoo! Oh, wrong side.
Put the other on again, that he's in the chair.
You like that?
Dr. Beaver. That was so funny.
Tell me about it. I'm glad he started laughing. I'm not done, AG Heeb. We're gonna read it. Don't worry. We've got more, so I gotta get to you guys. So okay, yeah, we're bad for this, AJ, if you haven't seen. We trail. Okay, so AJ Heeb, $5 American, the sweet, delicious American dollars that I want to do a dance and a jig for. I want to shake Jesus' hand. What's Vlad's excuse? I want to shake Jesus' hand. What's Vlad's excuse? I don't know if there is, probably contextual. Tell us in the comments. Give us more context. I want to shake Jesus' hand. What's Vlad's excuse? How am I supposed to be reading that? Okay, you teased me. Okay, AJ, give us more context. I want to make sure I've read that right. For $5 sweet, delicious. You know those American dollars, I'm sorry, guys, they get extra treatment. Okay?
I'm guessing that would be a breezy handshake with the hole in it.
A breezy handshake, very nice. Rick Bellamy. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's not a Smartie falling through your hand there. What the hell?
I wanted to, so Rick Bellamy, New Zealand, $2. Just, what's he saying? That's when he was demanding picture of people from space. Oh, that's funny. Rick Bellamy, New Zealand, $2. Just push him to rage quit. He won't take much. I did see that comment when I came in, and I was like, I was letting him get out his thing. I just thought, it's easier just to let him go like this. But I know that it doesn't light a dumpster on fire if I don't set the match. So I guess I'm too nice. Rick Bellamy, that was him. Just push him to rage quit. Crashes RC budget builds and reviews. Sir, I know that you've had some car troubles recently. What are you doing giving me donations? Thank you very much. When and if you end up with a monetized channel, or you are doing something else where I can send sweet quiche your way when I am floating it myself one day, because I also owe MasterCard a lot of my testicles, I will help you out. But in the meanwhile, remember everybody that donations are always welcome, and they're only just, you have to have the money. I don't really want anybody who, because, we're all in the same boat together. If you don't have the money, I appreciate it, but honestly, keep it in your pocket and just watch, subscribe, and that's really all I need from you at that point. So, if you're feeling like you're walking on sunshine one day, then I'll absolutely take some donations from you in the form of super chats and whatnot, and a join button if YouTube would ever give me one. I'm very bitter about that. The channels around me all have the join button.
I know someone who has a join button.
I do too. 82 Productions at 1100.
It's not me. It's 82.
And Ragical too has one.
Yeah, well, he's a really spiffy guy, so
I like Ragical. But anyways, just to finish that little spiel before I finish the last couple super chats here, just remember everybody, I love the donations. I'm a whore for money, but at the same time, you got to have it. So you can't be giving away money. That's why even the other day when I gave $2 Canadian to Team Skeptic, I butchered the comment down to $2. I removed. It took him a second. He's like, oh, I think he's trying to say my buddy's an idiot, because I removed whatever words I could to make it $2. I'm like, I ain't putting $5 down just to add 3 more words. Like, I was like, that's garbage. I was like, we'll see how we can slice this bitch up to make it fit into $2 and still make sense. So
just sticker to flip them off.
Well, exactly. So, I mean, I did join Team Skeptics. I'm a Ding Force member for the first time. It's the only join I have at this point, but I just, wanted to start putting a little bit back, and I thought $2 a month is, a small amount I can contribute towards the Ding Force and Team Skeptic, because I know that he's, like all of us, he's got bills, and he's trying to make a go of it too, so,
Yep.
Okay, so just to finish, we've got Crashes RC Budget Builds and Reviews, $2, sir. Hey, Vlad, care to debate a lowly old car mechanic? Hey, Vlad, if you're still listening, and I don't know if you are, but if you are, you got offers, buddy. We can get some more debating go. We got the Discord set up. That people can figure this out. We'll get you in there. We'll get you fighting with people. Just get you registered.
Yep.
Anyways, and then we have UTB Doug again for £2. Did I say pounds the first time, or dollars? Either way, if I didn't, or is that euros? That's a pound, right? It's got like an L. That's a
pound.
It's got the hook on the top.
It kind of looks like a euro. Yeah.
I hate those two symbols so much. Because they do look similar. Like you do. Well, I agree. That looked like an L, so I thought pounds. But at the same time, you have to be like, it's pretty tiny on the screen. You have to look in. You're like, oh yeah, E. So 2 pounds. If he saw evidence, he wouldn't believe it anyways, and I believe that. I mean, let's face it, we could all see that. That's why I was trying to say to him out of reason, say like, you can be incredulous about like not seeing or not listening or not hearing my answer, but the bottom line is I'm providing one. So, if you don't listen, it's really hard for me to have. I mean, he was doing really good for a while, and then he just got, bored, I guess. So whatever.
People like him, you know what they give to society? They give good business on slow days to the cold beer and wine store, because people like us looking for content, when we watch their stuff, we need alcohol. So, there's that.
Well, let's face it, that's what happened here. So, yeah, and then we've got one more. Carrie Oliver. I don't know. I don't think any others came in. I'll hit refresh on this is what I'll do here, just to make sure, and I'll read that comment because I thought it was funny. I saw it when it came in. Just hitting the refresh, make sure we didn't miss any. Okay, good. Okay, so we've got the last comment, Carrie Oliver, $33.33 of that sweet, sweet, sweet American Thunder. And the comment is, fight me, bruh, this guy, ... as in that, come on, bro, let's go. Which is, I don't know if anybody followed that. I made a stream, did it on a stream. There was he actually did that in the one, in the one. I didn't know there was an insert ad button here. Why were you guys listening to free music when you could have been making me money? This is terrible.
That, but you know,
I should have hit insert ad. When did this button even show up?
No, it's always been there. Basically, when you took a piss, you know, you could push the button and play ads. Yeah.
Does it just play an ad or two until you come back even?
We got to get together and have a little session with Beaver and catch him up to speed here. There's a lot that's obviously missing.
I don't use this.
Call him glitch mate.
Well, Radical knows I was going to him, and okay, everybody else has streamed more than me is what has occurred here. And if you've been watching my channel, you'll probably be aware that I have been streaming more lately, which I've been really enjoying it. However, it's ended up resulting in like I've realized there's a lot of shit I haven't been keeping on top
holes
of.
In the system.
Yeah, and like I went to Radical. I'm like, I don't understand why I can't go into the live streaming, like the dark mode, the new live stream window, because I actually really like it. Everything's well placed. You can, before we'd have to go to Streamlabs to find our super chats. Now it's right here on the same screen. This is a way better setup than it was before. But I couldn't find. You'd go in it, and it's like, do you want to set up a new stream? And hidden at the top. Right at the top.
Yeah, the three buttons.
Is manage and stuff. And he's like, you have to hit manage. And I'm like, where is manage? I get angry when I'm confused. I'm like, where is manage? It's just a pop-up in the middle of the screen. And he's like, no, you gotta hit at the top. And finally I go back and look at the top. I'm like, there it is at the top.
Oh, the
manage.
tiny little link.
Yeah, tiny little thing, manage. And nothing ever went, hey, nothing ever. They have pop-ups in YouTube.
Beaver.
Yeah.
You're gonna hate your join button as well, by the way, because the internal chat inside that little stream studio, that has a problem. Because if you have a join button and custom icons, and you basically do those custom icons, you can't chat anymore. Yeah. It basically only does the custom icons. Team Skeptic had the same problem, so you basically have to have another window open with another chat, so you can actually chat to the people.
That's why he's sending mankinis? Really, is that why he's sending all mankinis to people?
Yeah, I mean, you can have like my chicken icon, right? And I post like a chicken icon, enter, and then I start typing, and the text enter, it shows up, and then changes to a chicken. So you know, it's magic.
There was you know what's funny is that $5 super chat isn't showing up on here.
You got more super chats though.
Did anybody? Well, I got the Carrie Oliver was the last one, but this is a thing. I don't even know if I trust that now, because it's not showing the.
Ooh. Then you need the other one.
Well,
maybe it's bugged. I mean, YouTube knows how to
I'm
make
gonna open
things.
Streamlabs is what I'm gonna do and make sure that we got them all here, guys. So just bear with me a second ladies and gents. Yeah, I mean, Streamlabs is good for what, and I started paying for Streamlabs, but I'm probably gonna cancel that. I don't think it's worth the money. I don't know. Do you guys pay for Streamlabs or anything?
We don't yet, but it's looking like we will be thinking about it in the near future, because there are a few things that would be worthy.
I don't know why it didn't show NANA. It's not showing their super chat on any of these things. NANA. I saw your super chat. I believe it was $5, wasn't it? Did you throw your comment up on the screen?
I think it was 666. That's what he does.
Was that what it was?
That's 666.
Tell me what you donated and throw your comment up on the screen. We're gonna read it, because for some reason it's just not showing up. The stream, I guess, I don't know. Stream's bugged a bit, so it's not showing up in here. So I saw it on the screen.
I'm sure he welcomed Lucifer, our new overlord, and was glad that he has finally come and taken over.
I get angry when I get confused. At Brainy Beaver, you and Vlad have that in common. Well, at least I'm able to admit it. I'm like, it's a kind of a trait of mine that I'm not happy about sometimes. Because, like, that's the whole thing. Like, I was watching In Time today, and they were saying that apparently studies show that intelligent people, what the Dunning-Kruger study was that, like, not only do dumb people think they're really smart, but that smart people assume other people are smart too, and we don't really appreciate why other people don't understand what we're talking about. And so I'm like, oh my god, this answers so much, because it's like I just get like incredulous. I'm like, I don't understand why you don't understand that. Yeah, my wife says I'm a Sheldon sometimes. It's annoying.
I sent you a link, by the way, in Discord. You can probably see the super chats on there. It's the old version. Or actually the new version.
You know what? It's not even
Should give
showing
you
up
the
in
entire
there.
list.
Unless he got canceled it somehow or something. Maybe he took it back. I'm not cool enough. Maybe he was playing an old one.
Well, there were people talking about you should bring the beaver back.
That's funny.
The beaver. I've got the logo around here somewhere. Where is it?
The beaver is in the lower corner, but
Oh, I love the beaver's not. The beaver's ultimately not going anywhere long term. I think I'm still using him in the videos and stuff. So, but anyways, NANA. Did he end up reading his comment in the end at all, or putting his comment down? NANA. It wasn't a super chat.
That was patron.
Oh, it was patron. Oh, I'm in the wrong freaking window then.
You haven't linked Patreon to Streamlabs yet. You can actually do that.
I'm sure I did. That's why it told me. That's why it told me. Subscribers, members, live actions. Well, okay.
I mean, I've been present at Creaky's entire Glitchmate season. Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3. How many seasons are you going for?
Wait a minute. But it is linked because that's how it knew to show that there was a patron. Anyways, okay, NANA, thank you very much for your patronage. I really appreciate it. I'll go check out what you committed to.
He was opening Patreon instead of looking in Streamlabs Patreon.
Well, I'm in Streamlabs, so it's just I guess it linked it. It showed the page because I've linked it, but I guess I've got to figure out which window you open. Just look at that. But holy crap! It suddenly makes sense. Exactly. Well, okay. So everybody, you saw that there is a patron. I don't think I linked it down in this stream though, so I should probably throw a link in here. I don't know where that is.
Hey Beaver.
Yeah.
Maybe set up CloudBot as well. You know, he can do it for you.
We're gonna see, I'm gonna bug both of you guys because I've seen all your bots and I don't know why the hell I'm doing. The thing is, I'm running a business and I'm taking care of the family and I'm doing a lot of the things that a lot of other people have to deal with too, and I just don't have a lot of time left in my day, which is what ends up happening. So, I mean, right now. Tonight, my wife put the kids to bed, which was fantastic of her. I requested that, and she was kind enough to allow me to, be here with my entire night. And she laid on the floor and did the whole routine. So yeah, you know what I mean. Like I can't do that all the time because, like, if I do that every night, obviously I'm just leaving everything with her. So, Patreon link right there.
Good.
And right now, I might as well be a YouTuber because I'm not getting a lot of calls yet because it's not really cold. So, I mean, I almost make as much money on YouTube as I do on anything else right now. But I should be okay once it gets cold and calls start coming in. So, you know how it goes. It's weather-related work, right? So, real life always... what does it say? Real life always comes first. Well, of course, and everything. So, anyways, so that was the Patreon. You guys know where I am. Hit subscribe. Make sure you've hit that like button. There's 77 people left in here. If you haven't hit that like button. And what about, Radical, before we go, what have you been working on? What are you working on? You've got your whole Halloween special thing happening right now.
Yeah, it's the fourth video, and this was a lady who doesn't know what the word sexism means. Because she is talking about sexy ladies, and she thinks sexy ladies are sexism. So there's a whole video about that online right now on my channel.
And you set the internet on
one on the 31st as well. That's going to be racism. Halloween is racist. So I'm covering all the bases. I started out with Christians, Muslims, Jews, sexism, and racism, and that would be the entire Halloween week.
Nice. Demonetization juice. I love it.
Yeah, well, they get demonetized, but I throw that Team YouTube and then they get monetized again. So
yeah, I mean, I pass almost everyone. The only one I didn't pass is where I made a joke with the C to the O to the that starts with a CO and ends with a K sound. And I didn't even say the damn word. I literally just said the glorious color stuff as a joke, and that was it. I guarantee it. I watched that entire video. It was the snow one, everybody, and it took 6 people to watch it because the trick, what I do is I load it, upload it unlisted, and I don't look at it because I wait to let the AI look at it. I don't even view it once. I know it's on the video. It's fine. Let it process it. Just let it sit there. And sure enough, it goes you know, less monetized, so you ask for a review and I still don't click on the video, well, your views is 0. What happens is over the course of like the next day, hour, week, whatever it takes them to review it, that number climbs. Every one of them is somebody who's one of those people out there that's been like, here's a video for you to review for us. Well, the people they pay, you know, 5 cents a video or whatever they're paying them, and they click on it and they get taken, guaranteed they don't watch the whole video. They get taken right to the spots the AI has targeted and said, hey, these are the spots I don't like. The human goes, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Well, shit. Orphan Beaver took 30 something reviewers to get like totally monetized, because what that shows you is there's a voting system, and until they hit a threshold, so it was like, I don't think it's like it finally got to a threshold and it got tallied to monetized, but this one took 6. Sorry, go ahead.
Beaver, I have a theory about that. So basically they saw the video and were like, hey, look at this stuff, and then showed it around the office.
Well, and don't get me wrong. You never know. You never know if they like turn it back on again and be like, look at this bullshit. Like, I guarantee that does happen where they tune in. And you might even get the odd subscriber. You'd never know, but you might even have the odd subscriber that's one of these people that reviews videos, and they may never get your video again. You know, kind of thing, but because there's so many reviewers and so many videos, but like legitimately, you're right. I think every once in a while, you never know.
I mean, they're also human, right? Or,
yeah.
We assume they're human. Maybe they're AI bots controlling the AI bots.
But this one took 6 reviews, 6 reviewers. They were like, no. So I watched the video again, and then I went and looked at the rules, and the rules regarding drugs is very, very strict. Like, there was. If you go technically by their like table of what's acceptable and not to advertisers and stuff, it's pretty much black and white for drugs. They don't. That's why when I did this black mode right here, this one of the people was saying, but it's legal in Canada. I said, yeah, but it's not legal on YouTube. You know, so
you choose America, so you know.
Yeah, like if you so you know, if I need to, you know, I heard that. If I need to do something like that, then I can. Yeah.
Hey, now I can use a Zippo to light a cigarette. You know, just be the click of a Zippo doesn't mean I did anything wrong.
That's right, AI. It was a cigarette. Remember that, AI.
Yeah.
God. You know? Anyways.
The AI is not going, come with me if you want to live.
Yeah. The AI's processing in the background right now. Oh, that's that Dick Dawson guy. Okay, listen for the pipe bubbles and the lighter clicks. No, it's cool, man. I'm just I'm just having a smoke.
So before we finish up, Dick, I've got to get to you yet. What have you been working on? Shill yourself, bro. No pun intended, because he's got the shills, you know.
Yeah. Well, actually, tomorrow on the Shills, Conspiracy Cats is taking over our channel for his first ever live stream, and he's hosting it and he's scripted it out, and it's all his, and we're the supporting act, and
Really?
It goes live 9 p.m. UK.
He's never actually done a live stream before, eh?
No, so we stepped in and said, well, look, we know what we're doing, so we'll play the supporting act and we'll do the tech stuff. And so he's advertising it out now, and it'll be on our channel tomorrow, 9 p.m. UK London time. Yeah.
Whew. That's sorry, not that comment didn't make me yawn.
Jump in.
Yeah, he's got some really cool guests coming, and you know, there's some really cool stuff. It's gonna be really
Thomas
cool.
Miller, yeah. Thomas Miller, sorry, buddy, we're just about to jump off. I see you there. Nice seeing you, Thomas. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. It was a lot of. I think you know what it was. I don't think you needed to be here. I think you could probably just frame it on the wall.
It wasn't a dumpster fire.
It wasn't a total dump. Well, it started to the dump. Okay, there was
to be great, yeah.
spontaneous ignition started to occur near the end. There was smoke forming at the bottom of the dumpster. It was going there. It was about to.
Gonna fight you, bro.
We let him Thomas. We let him gracefully leave when he chose, because it was coming this close to getting his ass kicked off anyways at that point.
Yeah.
And I was getting pretty fed up. So he said, I gotta go, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, it's probably best. So
yeah, I couldn't have agreed more. When you went for that angle, I just stayed in the background. Yeah,
I sent you a message. I'm like, nah, let's just let him glide out of here. Let him have his little speech. We won't say much and just
yeah.
Bye.
You do realize he won, right?
Oh yeah, but
yeah,
I called that.
Made out.
But I called that originally. Like I said that.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, listen, the guy's got. The only thing I'll say is he does have a family. He apparently had his child. I could hear his child every once in a while, and so I was aware that his wife and family had come home and he was dealing with mom and dad things and stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the fact that he did have that commitment, and I don't I believe him about that. It wasn't a total. But he was doing the Russian vids at the end anyway, so he wasn't listening anymore, and really it had just fallen apart at that point anyways. So
it was just preaching.
Yeah, and of course it was the same. It was the tell me how a telescope works. Well, you see a telescope. Why didn't you answer the question, Beaver? Why didn't you answer the question? Tell me how a telescope works, Beaver.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
Like, okay.
But when he wanted to fight you guys, he wanted to fight you as well, Beaver, right?
We wanted to fight us in the comments in my first video there.
I have an idea about him entering the boxing ring, right? He just gets stuck in the bloody ropes, and then you need to get the jaws of life because, there's not going to be a boxing match. He's going to get hurt when he gets into the ring.
Thomas Miller, I think one of the funnier parts that you missed out on, buddy, was the part where I did this. And I started asking him about, how he got involved with Flat Earth and... really, why he believes the things he believes. We got really philosophical. That'll be a fun spot if you dial back to that.
Even Vlad was laughing. So,
he started laughing because he had me on the computer, and so I went to this, and he started having a pretty good laugh about it. So I'm glad he liked that. So he does have a sense of humor, at least. That was early in the stream when he was still keeping himself together. He kind of started falling apart near the end a bit. So. Anyways, yeah, Cat's live on Shills. That's kind of cool. He's never done a live stream before, eh? Like, he's literally... But you guys are doing the background producing, so it's all a shill. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, he wrote the script. He's the host. It's his show, but we're doing all the support stuff to make it, go well, right?
Who do I have to service to get Cats on my channel? I do have him on. I do have him on DMs. I'll send him a message.
We can get you all hooked up with them easy in the background. I've got the right little pipeline, no problem.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Like, certain people are able to get a hold of other certain people in the community better than others, just because of the way the dynamics.
I do this in the background all the time, man. Exactly.
So, yeah, but that would be fun. I know. He said at one point, I said you should do a collab with me during one of his streams, and that was like in summer, and he was like, totally, dude. And I was like, oh my god, I'm so busy. And Kat said he'd do a collab. So I mean, I just haven't gotten around to it. It was like, my panties hit the screen. So. Anyways, I always joke whenever Simon Dan jumps into the chat. I go, "Oh my God, it's Simon Dan!"
Yeah,
which I joke, but deep down I'm like,
I just love making the jokes like, "Oh hey, look at the tiny YouTuber, but with his 209 subscribers. Let's give him a shout out, guys."
Well, see, he was saying that He was saying that Team Skeptic was 10% Skeptic or 10% Team or something like that, and I was like, I'm 1.5% Brainy. 1.5 coming in strong.
You're free now.
I don't know. The last I was gaining subs there, but then the last couple days it's been like 3,035, 3,032, 3,035, 3,033, 34, 32, 34, 32, 34, 35, 32, 33, 31, 33, 32. I'm like, damn it, just keep going. What?
Beaver, I'll let you in on a little secret. My subscriber count is 3369.
So you've got both the best number and the worst number. Not to be juvenile, everybody.
Definitely.
I know there's some ladies in the audience, but don't tell me ladies don't like 69 too. My lady doesn't. That's too much information. Moving forward. Actually, that's about the end of this, frankly. We've done this 3 times. I'm really bad for that. Anybody who's watching me knows that my streams end like 4 times before they finally actually peter out and end. So
I saw that happen last time as well.
The trick is you stick in there. You stay right until you see the beaver, because anything can happen until you see that beaver screaming on the screen. Service? No. Isn't that what those Hitachis are for, right? Those Hitachis, they're for back massaging, right? Right? That's what I was told they were for. They have a picture of a woman rubbing it on her neck. Anyways.
Yes, that is what they are for.
It came with this. It came with this dial with a whole bunch of different settings, and I just figured that it was like jackhammer mode. You know, like
finesse.
He is so innocent, Dick.
I saw.
Yeah.
I saw one online. I saw one online on one of the naughty channels, and I'm gonna try to cover my words so that the AI doesn't pick it up too bad. But I saw one of those online on the naughty channel, and there was a little bit of bondage occurring, and they had wrapped it in duct or in like electric tape, I guess, to make it black too. And I was like, you could see the little blue stem between the bottom and the top of the wand, and I just thought it was hilarious for some reason. I'm like, that's funny. It's like it had to. It's like, well, it's pink, sweetie. We don't want pink in the shot. It's like, this is supposed to be a bondage scene. Everybody's gonna sub out, you know? Jesus.
Oh man.
It's funny.
What the hell, Beaver?
Well, we had to end it on some debauchery. What else are we gonna do here? Everybody tuned in for what they tuned in for. So,
Hey, Beaver, I just sent you a GIF of what the AI is doing right now. It's sending in certain robots.
There's the Transformer robots coming in and crushing skulls, walking in, ready to take me out.
That's a Terminator, man.
Oh no,
How dare you?
Oh no. We'll tell you what. We'll check.
800 Model 101.
Whatever. We will check that on our way out of the stream here, just for fun. But you know it's yellow.
Have you seen this boy?
We all know it's yellow. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. Yellow.
Oh yeah.
A yellow stream, eh?
But you'll win on a review for sure.
I don't think anything in here was bad enough. In fact, if anything, sometimes they picks up. I think sometimes it picks up things in the live chat even and stuff like that have said, and then that's part of being.
You need to keep an eye on that as well.
Well, which is you told me to add a couple words there. I did it right away. Which don't be afraid of telling me to add words to my filter if you think I should. But yeah, so I do think sometimes it looks at the live chat too, reads the live chat, and if it sees too many certain comments, it goes through them. Of course, that's where somebody comes in and looks at the context of the actual stream. Not to mention, everybody, YouTube is supposed to be for adults. Well, adolescents to adults. Like, you're not supposed to be a child. You're supposed
13
to be,
plus, right?
You're supposed to be 13 plus. So you mean you technically aren't really supposed to, even if I don't age gate this and say things that are that bad, you really aren't supposed to be a child watching this anyways. This content would specifically not play on the YouTube Children's app, the YouTube Kids app.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't. They wouldn't put it there. So remember, everybody out there. Sorry, go ahead.
That thing is really tight on the protection against.
Even my wife, even my wife was giving our child, letting him watch regular YouTube, and I even reminded her. I'm like, there is a YouTube, because every once in a while, they end up on things that aren't children's stuff, or it migrates away, and I'm like, there is a children's app, and it's pretty heavily filtered to make sure that it is just for children, because they're not supposed to be advertised to, all kinds of stuff, no targeted advertising, all that. So, basically the AI assumes they're an 80-year-old man now, and they want to watch kids crap, I guess. So, anyways.
Back in my day, PewDiePie was the hot sauce.
Anyways, on that note, we have gone long, as we always do. We have 71 people that are ridiculous.
I have a habit with that.
Yeah, well,
72.
You guys have this really good thing where you actually end it on time, because you actually have like a clock. And you start on time. That's the other thing. So if I started on time, ending on time would be easier.
My timing is like 5 seconds. It has to be within the 5 seconds, or else it's not a proper stream. But that's because I do the interactive premieres.
That's fine. No, and don't get me wrong. You know what? I think that's why you got your join button. I think it's because the amount of streaming you're doing. You do all of your premieres, like interactive premieres, and then your video is like a live stream, because it turns it into a video when you're done anyways. So as long as you treat it like a video while you're streaming it, it ends up being a video. So now the only thing is that sometimes I feel like you got the join button, but sometimes I feel like that does confuse the AI, because videos seem to get a better push after the fact than live streams do. So I do think sometimes you're also kind of inhibiting yourself in some ways too, a little bit.
Yeah, well, they changed something. And the
doing
thing
better
that
now?
they changed is they don't send any notifications out anymore for the half-an-hour stream. They used to do that. But
I see.
The interactive premieres I used to do. I mean, I have one that has 4,000 views, and right now they don't even break the 1K anymore, because there's something broken in YouTube. I'm not doing anything different.
You do get a lull period too, but I agree. Something's different.
Yeah.
Anyways, before I start talking again, Radical, any last words again? Just final little outs? Final outs?
Well, come watch the Halloween week. I have one video left, and that's on Halloween Eve itself. So, you know, it's gonna be fun.
Awesome.
And then also...
I might drop in the shield as well, right? For the Halloween thing they're gonna do.
Are they doing a Halloween thing?
Yeah, we have a Halloween show coming up as well, and you know the content will all be themed accordingly, and that will be some fun. I should have mentioned that. Thank you, Radical. You're a better shill than I at times.
And
I need to keep an eye on all of you lot.
So then we have, and then Dick, same thing again. Any last words, since we're just doing this again at this point?
Yeah, well, on my personal channel, I got a couple of little things coming up. Midweek update will be weekly going forward, and that's a little take on Saturday Night Live's weekend update. And then I have another little thing that'll be coming soon, and my game show and talk show will be coming over to the Shills channel as it expands with more content coming up. So lots of good stuff coming. Watch these spaces. Damn right. Thank you.
Yeah, and then if everybody wants to look, I don't think it'll be out this week. I got a lot of paperwork to do with my business, but this is what I've been working on. This is the video that I will be working on. I guess Fight did one not long ago, I've realized, but I didn't actually watch his, so that wasn't my inspiration. My inspiration was the stupidity of somebody. Well, I don't want to ruin it because Dick and I talked about this, and it is golden. So.
Yes.
There's a there's extra special. Like there's the normal, hey look, the ground warms up things, but there's also a little extra flavor in this one. So somebody was particularly stupid at some point here, and Dick's aware of what I'm talking about because him and I watched this together. Not this guy. This guy on the screen here, he's just an idiot. And it worked to the title because I don't know if you guys know the movie Chill Factor, but Cuba Beaver Jr. and some Sweet Ulrich, because it's Skeet Ulrich. But yeah, so it worked out for that. Anyways, but I'm going to turn this image off. And we're going to say bye-bye to everybody. Say bye. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you watching. Can't believe you all came.
Everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye. Where's that damn beaver? And Beaver House Productions.